Hello and welcome back to another Final Table commentary. Today we got a 5K from Anniversary Series 2026. We've got Hello Toddy on the final table, Gabs Malika Style, Gammy European Star wins Great Dant, No Let, and Sniff the Whale here coming in for an open with King Queen from the cutoff. We got what? Like 5 players making the money where we'll get 15K locked up. First place gets 73K. The other numbers down there, you see them. Queen 9 defends the big for Malika. 10-4-3 is the board. See a little C-bet, 1.5 blinds. Backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. Malika could go for a check raise, which is kind of cool. They're very aggressive. We'll see if it comes in here. First hand of the final table. Let's get things going off hot. There it is. 5 1/4 blinds from Malika. Then Sniff the Whale here has got an interesting situation going on. Backdoor straight, backdoor flush draws for himself as well with 2 overs. The best of it they call. King Queen comes along on the flop. Flush completes on the turn. 5 of hearts brings in so many straights. Some sort of ace 2, 6-2, 6-7 of course. Malika bets another 5 1/4. We can almost think about a full. This is a very tricky situation here for the whale. First hand of the final table. There's a weird situation of Sniff calls, and then we see some full double up for the whale. 6 of hearts, 1 liner to a 7 or 2. 4 hearts on the board. Malika can almost rip here for value. 16 blinds behind, 27 in the middle. They check it on over, not looking to check fold with the third best. Oh, there's a few straight flushes out there. Yeah, like what, the 5th or 6th best flush or something? Sniff jams with 1 better. Does Malika ever find a fold on there? Oh, Sniff goes 11.5. You still call, right? What a stupid little hand here to start things off. Thanks to KalipokerTV Poker Replays. If at any point in time you find yourself not caring for the commentary, there'll be a link in the description to the video in KalipokerTV, so you can go check out some more poker action in some silence. Malika goes deep in the tank. If they fold, that'd be remarkable. But in the end, they call here, knowing they're no good, and Sniff the Whale picks up like a 50 blind pot to start things off. What a come along call with the facing the check raise there. Not an easy find for the whale, and they just say, yeah, we're gonna hang in there on the turn when the flush completes. Straights get there out the ass. I got ace jack here, and they're right back in there. This is gonna be a really fun final table. You can see we got like 4 players that need to bust before we make the money. There's gonna be so many situations with ICM implications at play. Gammy with the king jack and the big here will find the call facing the open. We got like what? No let off 14. That's a short stack. Gammy on 20 isn't necessarily too short. Queen Jack 9 is the board here. Both players with second pair and backdoor equity. A straight draw for Gammy to the 10 as well. Flop does just go check, check, 9 on the turn. Sniff didn't want to face a check raise. Very wisely checks back the flop there. That ace of hearts is an important card to have. You don't want to face a check raise on the flop and have to fold. 9 does pair the board, so we got some chop potentials. The jack or 9 on the river. Again, Gammy can find a king or a 10 to win the hand. 4 of spades. Ace jack is still best. This might just go check check. Small bet on the turn. What are we trying to get called by in Gammy's shoes if you bet again? What's Sniff trying to get called by? Like specifically worse jack X. You have to bet like super small. This is even bigger than I'd expect. 3.2 and Sniff will just call and see the good news. So like a 50 blind pot and a 15 blind pot to start things out. 16 blinds. Sniff picks up like 66 blinds in the first 2 hands. Who saw that one coming? Like when I first pulled up the video, I was like, who's this Sniff the Whale here? I don't know, but they're off to a great start. 62.5 blinds. That does put him in a spot for picking up the min cash. Potentially. King 10 for Toddy opens it on up. Flops top pair. Backdoor equity for European in the big blind with that 5 of clubs. Overcard with the ace. Faces the small c-bet. It's another check raising hand. I kind of prefer a call here. Or European, sorry. Says, you know what, we're going to just get the hell out of here. We don't really need to play this situation. Like, ace high could be best, but then you're like going to be guessing on the turn, and if you pick up equity, you're going to feel like you're going to have to call a big bet to see the river card. European says, fuck all that noise. We're just going to fold right there on the flop. Sniff, Queen Jack suited. We'll open it up and just take it down pre-star wins with that huge stack, dudes. I didn't even recognize 157 blinds sitting there for star wins. First place position. They had some shit holding. They just fold and move along. My computer's just yelling at me, dude. Like, shut up down there. Shut up. I don't know why Sniff's taking so long with the 9 and the 5. That's an easy fold. Jack 9 for Gammy. 13 blinds is in a weird spot. Gabs with an ace might open it up there. Real aggressive. Great Dan. No let. What a fun table. Malika sitting there. Gabs with a big stack. Toddy off 32. Just waiting there to fight somebody. Gammy. Jack 9 suited. 13 blinds. They do just rip it in. I was wondering if we're going to take the spot. We're sitting around last place. We kind of just need chips. We're going to just... take a hand with a lot of equity, rip it in pre instead of going for some min raise trying to play this post flop. I kind of like it. You really hate to get called, but like, you know, you just kind of like say fuck it. Like, we're in a 5K, $15,000 min cash. We want a min cash, but we should be trying to get back in the game. Because, like, the beautiful thing about having some of these big stacks, like Starwinds and European there could be some real wars. Starwinds has position on second place, over 100 blinds deep. You want to be in that situation. I love playing in second place. Ace-Jack for a great down. We'll rip and take it down pre. But, like, I love being in second place facing that first place big stack. They're aggressive, and then they've got position on you. They're like, oh, this is a beautiful spot for me. And then I'm like, oh, fuck you. Is that what you thought? Is that what you thought? You thought, oh, because you got position on me, you're just going to come in for a bunch of 3 bets and shit? Let me introduce you to some 4 and 5 and 6 bets. And then, you know, things get fun. And then you lose some big pots, but you win a bunch of huge pots. Anyways, King 10, no let. Rips it in. From the small, 12 blinds. We're moving along. 10-6 suited for Toddy and the big Jack for European. That's a cool hand. Malika with the suited ace. Comes in for the under the gun +1 open. Hurry up, Gammy. Jack for European. 60 blinds deep. Do we call here? Weird spot. We don't really want to face a 4-bet. That's why we might call. But Jack is strong. We go for a 3-bet any which way. We just call facing a 4-bet if we're being honest. I think if Malika makes it 12.5, you just click call, go to the flop. Kind of like the 3-bet now that we talked it out. And European goes for a really small 3-betting size too. It's real cool. Kind of just checks all the boxes of what you're trying to accomplish. People are always like, oh, Jacks is so hard, ace, king, blah, blah, blah. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Just 3-bet. 3-bet your Jacks. Move along. Don't be afraid. Don't be a pussy. Oh, it's so hard, Jack. What do we do? Do we just go all in? Shut the fuck up. Jacks is easy. Malika comes in for a 4-bet. They do find a bigger size than I expected. 14 blinds. You just call, right? Oh, Jacks is so hard. Shut up. Personally, I call, but we'll see if Malika comes in for a... Yeah, you just call, right? Weird spot. King 9-4 is the board. Flush draw for Malika. Oh, Jax is so hard. What do we do? There's a lot of ace-king for Malika here. And then, of course, aces, kings, queens. Oh, Jax. Malika with the flush draw goes for a small c-bet. I think you call 1 here. There's a lot of folding on the turn, though. You just still gotta call 1 though. 6 of clubs. Now it's a weird spot. Malika can still go all in. And you might fold the Jacks. Ooh, Jacks! It's actually pretty hard. It's pretty hard. Jacks ain't easy, dude. Ace 3, just jam it in. There it is. Okay, if European calls, that's really cool, but I think you fold the turn. There's a lot of draws, dude. Like, ace queen suited could do this. 2 overs flush draw. Ace 5, of course. Look at these. Got the suited ace 3. Just the flush draw. Big ball play by Malika. I think it's gonna work. Jacks, you're so hurt. If you call here, that's crazy, though. Beautiful play. Beautiful play either which way. Very fun hand. Malika with a small 4-bet pre. Wait, they went for a big 4-bet pre. Does that come into play here at all? Maybe trying to get you to fold more. More of the suited ace-x. If European can call here, that'd be crazy. I think we fold the jacks, though. Oh, this is kind of funny. Sorry for my comments about the jacks being so easy earlier. Seemed difficult as we see Europeans in the time bank. Oh, there's the call. Beautiful call. Spade on the river. Fuck, I don't even care. I'm not invested in the pot. But me personally, I didn't lose no money. European is pissed right the fuck off. Beautiful call. Thinks it on through. Says, you know what, Jacks? Not too hard. I'm going to call on the turn any which way when you go all in. Bam! I don't think that proved my point that Jacks are easy. But beautiful play by European. 5-5 comes in for the open. Ace-9 for the sniff the whale. Holy shit there, dudes. That was a crazy hand. Jack. Gets fucked in the ass by the river, though. That's 107 blinds for Malika. What a hand. Holy shit. Holy shit, Gavs. Ace-6 in the bag. What a fucking start. Ace high board. Ace-King 7. Man, jacks are not easy to play, but beautiful. Beautiful call by European on the turn. They just thought it through. They're like, man, I gotta call here. 5s go for a c-bet. Big sizing too here by European. Not gonna work. I think we call and just check down now. 10 of clubs? Or sorry, European goes for the big c-bet and checks it down. After getting called on the flop. Sorry, the words didn't come out right. Let's see if they do go for a big bet here. That 10, like Queen Jack got there. They go full pot. This Ace-6 might find a fold. Gavs is no pussy. They might call, actually. I think Gavs is going to call. I would really strongly think about a fold here on the turn. Gav says, I can't call. It's just too big of a bet. 10 is very weird where the Queen Jack obviously got there. There's so many strong 2 pairs in European shoes that just want to go for a huge, hefty value bet on the turn with so many other draws out there. And they're still going to call it off if your opponent is Queen Jack or whatever. That Ace-6 though. Gavs has to let it go with a top pair on the turn facing the pot size. Bet 7-7 lips it in versus Malika. 60-some blinds deep here. King 6 just checks it back. Flops a pair of kings on the Ace-King Jack flop. 7's with the backdoor flush draw, but other than that, this might go check on the flop. Malika could bet 1 blind and then like check it down. There's a bunch of draws out there. A bunch of shitty cards that we don't really want to build a pot with second pair of kings with. What a call with the jacks on the turn there. What a fucking call. Queen of spades on the river. There's a weird world where Gavs bluffs the 7s. Pair of kings fold. They do just elect a check. Expecting to lose a lot. And there's like also a world where Malik has just got like some sort of like what 6-7, not 6-7 because you got 2-7. You know, like 5-3, 9 jack. No, not a jack. A 10 or a jack or a 10 any card above that you lose. But you know, like just 2 random little dinky cards Malika could have here. This is a limp pot pre. 7s like are thinking about a Euro call. You ever check raise? I like a check raise on the river here. But you end up calling with the 7s on this board with a 1-liner where the flush completes. You look silly, but like it does make some sense. There's just like 9-3-0. It's like just like a, you know, 2 dink cards that don't connect to nothing. They have no showdown value. They go for the like half pot bet on the river. It's actually just a pair of kings getting some greedy value. Ace-7 suited for no let. We'll see them open it up. King Jack for Gammy and the big is in a weird spot. Sniff is taking a while here with the 10-5 suited. Don't expect to see much action. Now they fold. $73,000 up top. Not too bad of a payday. King Jack in the big. Holy fuck, confusing my sentences in my head before they come out. That's a flop flush. No, let's got the nuts. Gammy with 2 overs, no club, easy check fold. No let could check back the flop. We also might bet 1 blind. I like to check. What do you know? Gammy picks up top pair. King Jack doesn't look too bad here. We bet 2 3/4. Gammy's in a lot of trouble. Oof. Gammy's dead, folks. We don't check, we jam for value, we get called by the nuts. That's the game for Gammy. GG Gammy, they're out in 9th place. Beautiful play by No Let to check back the flop. And you might think to yourself, why wouldn't you bet the flop? You've got the nuts. You don't necessarily want some sort of like 8-9 no club to see a free turn. But that's why you do it. You check back the nuts, your opponent runs into 3 of a kind. And you say, well, Brendan, you know what, that's not too freaking... Well, your opponent could just make top pair, and then we get some dink river where they still end up jamming for value. Like, you know, and then there's all the bluffs that could potentially just go for some sort of play on the turn and river from Gammy shoes. You just check back the nuts. Check back the nuts. Move along. You collect all those chippies. Ace Queen coming in for a 3-bet, facing Great Dance open under the gun. Ace 7 suited. European could always 4-bet. We're playing pretty short, 25 blinds deep with no let, so we're going to fold. 36 is an afterthought. Star wins in first place still. Not playing a hand, we've lost a body. First place position. You don't see that too often. Ace 7 suited. Should just let this go. There's a world where we 4-bet, but man, that's not going to work. Yeah, good play by Great Dan. Open makes sense. Just fold to the 3-bet there. 5-4 suited. We'll see if no let comes in for another play here. 30 blinds deep. No, not likely. Sniff with an ace. We're going to see a tank before the fold, which is unfortunate because that time does add up and there's no real way for me to just skip through that tank if they're going to proceed with taking it every time. Queen 9 for Malika, that 2nd place position, newfound spot. We're going to come in for the open from the cutoff. Ace 2 for Starwins. Could 3-bet here just because we're bored. Starwin says no. I'm actually not going to do that. Great Dant 5-3 in the big should just let... Well, we might play. It's 2 shitty cards. That's a little bit connected. 10-9-8 is the board. We got a flush draw and 5 high. There's a backdoor straight draw that would put us straight on the board. Even if it's 6-7 of spades, that would be a straight flush on the board. Middle pair goes for 1 and a little bit of chips. A little bit of chips is the bet. Queen on the turn is 2 pairs, 1 liner to a jack. Great Dance still has the spade. Unless it's a queen of spade, of course. That would be a full house. And holy shit, he's just trying to fill up the dead air with words about cards right now. I might give him a free river. But then you're like, shit, no, bet small, right? Is it bet small on the turn? Because like 5-3, this some sort of dinky 1 spade hand might just find a fold on the turn. Of course, there could be a jack. That'd be a straight, of course. 10 on the river, no spade. We'll see if Great Dan goes for a bet. They do 3.5 blinds, putting in a little bluffski here. Kind of cool that they have 5-3 and they bet 3.5 blinds. It's a lot of 3s and 5s in the world. Malika could go for a bluff on the river here, blocking full houses, which is kind of funny. Bluff with the best of it. Yeah, there you go. Not an all-in play looking to get called. All-in play looking to get folds in 5 high. Saving face, taking a little bit of time before we find that fold button. I'm going to just represent Great Dan. He's like, oh, where's the fold button? Is it over here? Is it over here? Is it over there? I don't know where it is. Is it over here? Where's the fold button? I can't find the fold button. And then he finds the fold. That's my imitation of Great Dan with the 5 high. Ace 9 for Hello Toddy. Oh, jacks for Starwins. What a weird spot for the jack and the jack. We see 2 in the blinds as well. 9-10 suited for European. Toddy's been quiet. European's in a weird spot. 9-10 suited. We might think about a 3-bet. No, we just call instead. 10-9 suited, playable holding. The 3-bet is going to come in from jacks, I do believe. First place position. We don't mind facing the 4-bet all in by Toddy. We don't really want to go 3 ways, 4 ways, potentially 5 ways in position with jacks post flop. We come in for a small 3-bet to 7 blinds and take it down pre. That makes a lot of sense. A lot of words, not too much happened. But look, jacks aren't too hard to play. Unless you've got like 2 little fucking M&Ms in your sack there. King 9 suited. Nothing wrong with small balls, yo. But don't tell the world how to play jacks with your small little nerd's perspective. King 9 suited comes in for the open here. Gav's getting after it. Queen Jack. Fold in for Great Dan. Ace 9 will call for the whale here. The whale sniffer. Can we ever 3-bet Ace 9? That'd be cool. Looking to take it down pre, not trying to... Oh, what? Say what? Okay, how many players do we got? 8? Yeah, no, that's a call. That's a call pre. About 50-some blinds deep. Say what? Why'd we fold Ace 9? Say what? Ace 10, European comes in for the open. Queen Jack for star wins. We could see a 3-bet. I wouldn't. Do we ever call? No. We're going to fold. Ace 3 suited for Toddy in the big. Queen Jack is a cool hand, but it's really not that good. It's really not that good. Looks cool. As you're like, whoa, those are 2 cards that are picture cards. And they are right side by side one another. It's not that good of a hand. Doesn't play too well. There's situations where it's beautiful. And if it's suited, you're like, fuck yeah, this is a beautiful monster. Ace 3 suited for Toddy. Queen Jack, oh, fuck that hand. Fuck that hand. Toddy rips it in. They're in trouble here. Ace 10 suited. Oh, in the muck. Ace 10 in the muck. That was a quick jam by Toddy, who's been pretty quiet. They get the better, much better Ace 10 suited. They hit the fold button. King Jack suited. If Sniff opens Queen 9, I am confused as fuck. Or Queen 4, sorry. Queen 4, this dinky hand. And again, we're taking the whole time bank. Sniff started off hot, yo. Picking up like over 60 blinds. Puts himself in a very good spot here to make the money and hopefully play for the first place position. There's been a few questionable hands afterwards. And then just a tanking pre. I hate that shit. I love the quick jam by Toddy. Gets the Ace 10 to hit the muck almost as quick. King Jack limps it in here. 8-7-4 is the board. Gavs with that second pair. Checks it back in position. 10 on the turn. Straight draw for Toddy. Leads out big. Gets a call. Deuce on the river. Toddy's just blocking the Jack 9 nut straight, which isn't too bad of a thing to do. King high could be best somehow for some... 23 blinds into 8. Toddy rips it in. Gets the pair of 7s to fold. Toddy says, look, dude, want to see the size of my nards? Throws a couple bowling balls on the table. 23 blinds into 8. Dude, Ace 2. Ace 2. Starwinds opens it up. I love that smile on Starwinds' name there. And no let 20. I'm not a big fan of the number 20 just being placed there. I don't know why I'm so critical of people's names. Starwinds with 7-7 finds the call off 27, which is interesting. We don't really want a 3-bet jam here. We really don't want to just fold. We don't want a 3-bet small. No let says we're just going to click call. Sniff takes the whole time bank before folding Jack 6 off. Malika in the big with the King 4 might just fold, getting a great price. 8-4-2 is the board bottom pair. Top kicker for Star wins. Interesting little pair of 7s here for no let. Ba-bum-bum-bum, ba-bum-bum-bum. 3 on the turn, flop goes check, check, completes the flush, Ace 5 makes a straight. 6-5? 6-5 as well makes a straight. Fits in there somehow. No let with those 7s. Well, that flush really got there on the river. That's 4 diamonds, yo. Starwinds could go for a bluff here and 7s might fold. But we might just check this one down as well. Starwinds is going to be really curious about the call pre-flop. You don't typically see these short to middling stacks call pre-flop in such, what would you say? Look, we're like 3 people off the money on a final table. You typically don't see those middling stacks just call less than 30 blinds effective. Facing the big stacks open from early position. You just typically don't see that shit. So Starwinds is like, I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to think about that call pre. I'm just gonna check this one down. I think like you start to see, it's not like 50% of the time aces, but instead of like, you just start to see more strong holdings being put into those trappity trap calling ranges. Ace 8 opens 6-4 suited, calls the small for Malika. In second place says I have over 100 blinds. We'll see if we flop something pretty. Queen Jack 5 is the board, all diamonds. Malika with 3 in a row says this is not what I was looking for. Flop goes check anyways. Ace on the turn. Starwinds picked up top pair. Malika's not going to get top pair to fold, I don't think, unless you just go like overbet or something stupid. Malika was 6 high, no equity. Wisely checks it over. You do not need to bluff every time you're dead. 6 blinds in the middle. King on the river. 1-liner to a 10. There is a world where we bluff the 6 high. I don't know if we're going to get that ace to fold, though. Any 10 makes a straight, of course. There's 2 pairs out the ass. There's a lot of, like, pocket pairs here for Malika. Some sort of, like, 7, 6s, blah, blah, blah. It's not even too big of a bet here. It does kind of look like for value. I think we still call with the pair of aces after checking the turn. So many 2 pairs. There's a lot of fucking 2 pairs in there. Like, Malika's calling a lot of Broadway connectivity from the small here. There's a lot of 2 pairs. Nice call by, who the hell is this? Starwinds? Forgot who it was. No let ace, queen suited, they open it up. Could you imagine if they displayed your name one time and then it disappeared? And then you're just forced to look at their picture and remember their name. This commentary would be horrific. Or it'd be better because maybe I'd just talk about their images more. I fucking love talking about their images. But what the hell is a DPP? What's that about? Some sort of poker training site? Queen 10 in the big. Starwinds. Let's call already. We're not going to 3-bet here. We're like 30 blinds deep. Let's just see a flop. Ooh, interesting one at that. King Jack 4 is the board. Starwinds is open-ended. Backdoor flush draw in there. No let. They got enough flush draw and a straight draw to a 10. Overcard with that ace to boot. 5.5 blinds in the middle. We'll see how no let goes about this one. Very standard 1 3/4 c-bet. Starwinds could go for a check raise. We could get... No, if we check raise, that kind of sucks. We might not be able to realize our equity. I really like a call on the flop here. No let could just 3-bet our flop check raise. And we don't get to realize our equity. We have to fold facing it. 3-bet. Wise call by Starwinds. King pairs the board on the turn. There's a world where we lead. Not super likely. That king is a whole lot better for no let. Deuce on the rivers. Complete brick. We got ace high versus queen high. Very small c-bet and that's all. There's a world where this checks down. Ace high won't go for value. Queen high might not bluff. There could be some sort of like 10-9. Oh, we do get the bluff. 3 blinds. Third pot size bet. This looks like value. I think ace high sniffs out a call. You've got spades, so you're like, shit, I really want to throw this one away. It doesn't make as much sense to call with spades in your hand. Ace high is just probably best here sometimes. Probably enough to call this the 1/3 pot size bet. Nice play by no let. We're moving along. 15 blinds, slide over to no let. Beautiful play with the missed flush draw. King 10. King 10, king 10. I don't think we open here, dude. Nice. No let is on top of their game, or I'm in line with them. I don't know how you'd word this shit. Sniff is just taking forever, dude. Throw that shit away. The whale is just floating in the sea. Oh yeah, I gotta play poker. King Jack, Malika opens it up. King Jack suited to boot. Starwinds with ace 10. Like 3-bet here. I like a call though. You just keep all that like ace 7 suited in. You know, some sort of ace that's suited. You don't want to face like a 4-bet by like ace 5 suited pre. You just call from the small here. It's weird. Play a little post flop. Learn to get comfortable, dudes. Jack pairs up. Oh, that's those jacks there, dude. They're just like Hey, I5 bro. Malika, top pair. Star ones with some backdoor equity. I don't think we do much here. Interesting check by Malika. I guess they don't want to face a check raised by so many hands that could be potentially straight draws, potentially flush draws, hands with backdoor equity. Like this ace 10 could somehow check raise the flop. Just thinking it's got backdoor equity, but no, ace 10 wouldn't. But something like 10-9, queen 10 with a club. Where Malika checks back the flop, says, I don't want to face that check raise. I can just build a pot on the turn if need be. They go for the bigger bet too. Pair of tens is going to be curious as shit. I think we call one with the pair of tens. Nine on the river. Plenty of straights to get there. Weird to see if Malika goes for another bet here. King queen obviously got there. We block that. Ace 10 checks. I don't know if a 10's gonna call again on the river. 8-7 gets there. Queen 8. Clubs miss. 10 of clubs is irrelevant. Ace of diamonds is irrelevant. We could talk ourselves into a hero call. This is gonna be interesting. Like Malika might not want to value bet because ace 10 might not call. They go for a 10 blind value bet and we're gonna find out. You know, we're gonna see if he calls. This is a big bet. I can obviously see Malika's got the king jack. I might think about a hero call here with ace 10. Wouldn't be surprised to see it. That check back on the flop is sneaky as fuck, dude. At least we got to see a very interesting hand. Like the flush missed. Nice fold by Starwinds. But then you think about the value bet on the river. It's almost a check on the river. Some sort of like Queen Jack would certainly call. Maybe worse, Jack X still calls. Jack X might lead the turn out of position. Weird spot there. It makes you think King for Toddy takes it down, Bray. What a hand. Weird hand with the King Jack though, checking back to flop. These three suited European. Jacks for the whale in the big. We're gonna see what happens. Out of position. 44 deep. You could 3-bet get this in if you wanted to. Couldn't you? 44 deep. That's pretty deep. I don't hate a call pre-flop here with jacks out of position in the big. It's a strong hand. You could very well go for the 3-bet. Either way works. 9-8-4 is the board. Jack checks. Weird spot. I was thinking like there's a lot of check raises, but like do you check call this one? Nah, check raise the flop. Lead is weird. Get rid of the lead. Check raise is cool. Even though the ace 3 folds to the check raise. Calls the lead, 10 of hearts on the turn. We got an open-ended straight draw. Well, we may as well keep betting now that we did the weird flop thing. So let's bet again. Like, if you check, I'm bamboozled. Half pot. This don't make much sense. I'm confused. Sniff the whale takes down a pot there. They've done nothing but win hands. Skip through the break here. I really don't hate that call pre by jacks. That's a beautiful play. Gavs e6 coming back from break says I'm gonna tink and fold. 9-7 star wins this big ass stack. We could come in for an open. We don't have to though. We don't really need to. Star wins says I'm out of there. 6-7 for sniff the whale. I'll limp it in. Oh, we could raise. Yeah, why don't we raise? We're facing Toddy. They're going to 3-bet us likely. That's why we might not raise. If we limp, they're going to raise. Toddy's going to make it expensive any which way. Ace 8. We'll see if he... Oh, we want to play post. Toddy flops top pair. We got backdoor equity for sniff. If the whale bets, I think we just call with top pair here. And we'll call all the way down. I don't even care if the flush completes. Sniff checks, dude. If Toddy checks, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful play. 8 on the turn. That's 2 pair versus an open ender. 4 or a 9 for the whale. They're going to come in for a big bet here. We'd size up a river jams like 5 or more. I like 5.5. No need to go like more than pot. And you're just sizing things wrong. 6 is cool. 6 works out very well. I like the sizing by Sniff. Another call by Toddy is probably what we're going to see. Oh, fuck, right off, dude. Toddy's gone. Flush completes, open ender gets there. All in by the whale. Toddy shows call to the 2 pair. That's a damn shame, dude. We just lost Toddy. I don't think there's a world where we fold the 2 pair here. We face the jam. Quick call. What a damn shame, dudes. There's still so much like queen jack and shit wrapped around that higher straight. Single diamond hands. Straight blockers and shit. There's so many reasons to call the 2 pairs there. Probably even worse 2 pairs for value on the river. Yeah, beautiful play by Toddy and a real nice play by Sniff the Whale as well. I love the sizing on the turn. It worked out beautifully. You get there on the river, you go for value, you get called. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a beautiful hand. Beautifully played game of poker. Toddy got in there with the whale and the whale beat the shit out of Toddy. There's like no reason for Toddy to jam the turn, really. Well, like there's like some reason you could say, but then you're really just losing out on value facing the river bluffs. And like you could also make like I don't know, like does some sort of 2 pair still jam the river when so much shit gets there for the whale? Some sort of worse ace X that's a 2 pair, like probably so, dude. Like it's still all in even when all that shit gets there. So like, why would you scare off some sort of like ace 4 on the turn with a jam? You know, like there's no reason to scare anything off on the turn. You just click call twice. Hope for the best. Unfortunately, Toddy's gone. No reason for Toddy to raise the turn, in my opinion. Jack and a 9 for Gavs here. Seems like an open from the button. Although, if we're being honest, we got Malika in 2nd place in the small, and we got European in the big. Jack 9 still seems like an open. But I understand the fold. That's kind of scary. Malika there with King 9. We'll go for a 3-blind raise and take it down pre. Like, yeah, any other table, maybe a Jack 9 is a pretty easy open. Ace 5, Great Dan opens it up. So we lost 2 bodies, 2 more bodies to the money. Boop, boop, boop. That's cool. Jack 7 suited, the whale still tanking. A6, star wins in the big. Weird spot. 15.5 blinds deep. You don't necessarily like this open from under the gun. And you've got an ace. You kind of feel like you have to call. There's a world where you fold. Because you're like, this is too strong. The 3-bet to 4.5. This could get punished by ace 5 suited, which would be cool. 4-bet. Do. Rip it in, dude. Rip it in. Rip it in, rip it in, rip it in, rip it in. I don't think I could find the jam here. I would probably fold. But man, just sitting here looking at what Starwinds had there, that would be a cool jam. Great Dant also finds the fold there. Like, I can't do it, dude. I can't find the jam. Sniff the Whale. Ace King will open from under the gun +1. Ooh. Great Dant 6-7 suited in the big probably has to call 1 blind. Does Sniff go for a bigger opening size? They say 2.1, effectively 2 blinds. So they did not. There's like a world where they just open up like 2.5 and it makes it really difficult for Great Dant to call. 6-7 suited probably has to find it any which way. Malika with the suited aces thinking about something here. You would have presumed a 3-bet was coming in. Malika says, we're just going to take this one post-flop, 70 blinds deep with a short stack in the big blind. Bunch of 6s here. Bunch of 6s. There's some backdoor equity for the other 2. 7 and a little bit of blinds in the middle. Small C bet. By the whale, ace 4 probably just hits the muck. Yeah, I'm stiff in the neck. Ace 4 probably just hits the muck, dudes. Whoa, what? Say what? We raise. This ain't no check raise. This is just a 2-bet. And we jam for 11. Both players fold? Is there a world where Malika calls 6 more blinds? 6 into like 30? We're effectively donezo. Ace high could be good against it. No, our flush draw might just fold in the flop. What's going on here? Do we call with the ace 4 with like no equity? 6 more blinds, just flick it in. I don't know, dude. We're getting one hell of a price, but we got less than 2%. 2. Oh, 3 on the turn is a full house. Okay. What? 2%? Less than that, dude. I don't even have 2%. No, less than that. Ace 3 Malika. This is a whole fuck ton of chips sitting in a comfortable second place. It's just funny to flick in 6 blinds with less than 2%. I'm not saying I wouldn't have called either. You're getting a great price. You're like, hopefully he's got a flush draw. Some sort of straight draw. Does he have a straight flush draw that I block or that I somehow dominate? That's crazy. You're really ambitious in your mind before you call. And you're like, oh, not even 2%. King 4 suited, no let defends the big. Ace 6-6 is the board. Star wins. Ace 5 suited. There's some backdoor equity. Same with no let. 5 blinds in the middle. We can almost just check here. We don't want to face a check raise. We can go for a small bet. Try to clean up some equity. I like the check back. 10 on the turn. Boop 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 boop. Holy shit here. Ace 5. We are tanking and tanking and tanking. Check. We could go for a bet here, clean up our equity. 7 on the river. The weird spot is when you show up on the river in a check down pot and then you might have to face a bet. King high thankfully checks. Ace high checks. Weird spot if no let elected to bet the river. What do we do? I got no idea with that ace high. Anyways, sniff the wheel with 7s in the big. Great dent with king 2 suited. That's a cool open. King 9 for Malika. With sniff in the big blind might open. Nope. No let. Jack and a 10. They're gonna limp it on in, dudes. 7-7. You don't really want to raise to like 3.5 here. And go post flop in a bloated pot with a pair of 7s. Limp pot. Ah, he does do it. What's cool is when you face a 3-bet jam pre, there's still like small pocket pairs in there. Smaller pocket pairs. So it makes a little bit of sense. I shouldn't be too critical of it. We somehow found an overpair with 7s on the 6-5-3 board. We go for a 3rd pot size bet. Beautiful play. Jack 10 has nothing, so it has to fold. Not too bad of a play by Sniff the Whale there. Although my first remarks were critical. King Queen for starter wins. That is suited. They might just open it up here. If they fold, I would be bamboozled. But no, they clicked the open button. Ace 7 for Gavs in the small. Oh, wait. Malika opened. My dumbass. Malika opened under the gun. King 10. King Queen suited tinks and tinks and tinks and calls pre instead of 3-betting. The under the gun open. My apologies. King 10 sees a 7-3-2 board. We don't have a diamond. We check fold. Star wins with King Queen 2 overs. No diamond either. They might just check. It's not too bad to bet and try to get some ace-x to eventually fold. 9 on the turn. Like, I'm thinking King Queen go for a bluff here at some point, trying to get ace-high to fold. We could just check it down against worst King-X. We've got options. Not a real good reason to bet the King Queen of Hearts on the turn here. 9 of clubs? No, I don't believe so. 5 on the river. That might just be that right there. That's all. Check, check. Wow, that took forever, dude. That took forever. 6.5 blind check down pot. Holy shit. Ace 8 for great dance. Star wins with the ace 5. My apologies, they're gonna come in for the open. Da-do-do-do, da-do-do-do. A jack and a 10 for Gavs. Do we call here? Jack 10 is a little bit better than the Queen Jack, even though the Queen Jack is higher cards. I think we just fold Jack 10. Sniff the whale with the 10-4-0 on the button. Thought and thought. And they folded. Queen 6 for Malika in the beak. They flop top pair. Malika defends Queen 6-0 in the big. We're playing 78 blinds deep or so. Slayer wins with backdoor equity. The ace high doesn't want to face a check raise. I've said that a lot. We might come in for a C bet here on the paired board. I do like it. And a small bet makes a lot of sense. Looks to be about a quarter pot size. Top pair for Malika. Can think about a check raise. We don't have to go big at all. I kind of like 3.3. Malika says we're just going to call, actually. Go to the turn. A 9 of hearts. Star wins with that ace 5. There's a world where we might go bombs away, bombs away. There's 2 big bets here, turn and river. We're just going to check. Ace high says, oh, what do we do, man, on the river? What a silly little hand here. We got that 5 of hearts. We don't have necessarily a good reason to hero call. Malika with the pair of 6s should just check. Flush got there. He bets half pot for value, dude. It's not a bluff. We're not trying to get a 9 to 10 to fold. We're not trying to get called by... What are we trying to get called by? Ace highs? Some sort of like 5s, 4s, 3s? Interesting bet by Malika on the river. I'm quite confused. Surely there's logic behind it, but I can't find it. My brain can't see deep enough into the void. King, queen. Sniff the whale. Boink, boink, boink. They open it up. Gavs with the 6-5 suited. They're going to be tempted to call here. Holy shit, my neck is not feeling good. Holy moly. Gotta quit sleeping on the couch. Sleeping all crooked and shit. 10-5-3 is the board. A little pair of 5s for Gavs. King Queen's got a backdoor equity, 2 overs. We're gonna check it on over. Once we check, I feel like we're gonna fold if we face a bet. A pair of 5s might not bet. We could go for like a 3rd pot size bet as well. I don't mind the check on the flop here. 8 on the turn. What do we do on the turn with the pair of 5s? We're gonna call if our opponent bets. I guess we're trying to keep the pot small with the pair of 5s on the flop. Do we go for a delayed bet? We do go for that small bet on the... That would have made some sense on the flop. We go for it on the turn. I kind of like that play too. We're just trying to clean up equity here against a hand like King Queen. It's annoying if our opponent turns this into a bluff, blocking like some... Nah, Queen Jack, they don't have a... King Queen don't have the draw. Queen Jack has the draw. King Queen just gonna fold. And then there's gonna be a bunch of ace highs that are like, I think I'm just done with hand. And say just clean up equity there. Nice little play by Gavs to take that one down. King 5 for the whale here. This one makes a little sense to think about, but in the end I think you fold. Gavs for 7s, opens it up. European with 6-6. Weird situation here, dudes. 26 blinds deep. European's gonna be tempted to rip. Do we just call because of the situation we're in? We're in a 5K tournament. We'd have 26 blinds. We don't really need to 3-bet jam here. Malika calls from the button. Does European call? I'm afraid they're gonna jam, dudes. It makes a lot of sense to jam, but like I don't want to see it happen. Yay, we get the call. Ace 9 8 is the board. Backdoor flush draw for Malika. Sevens check. Malika might c-bet, or not c-bet, sorry. Flop, go for a flop bet. If we bet like 5 blinds here, 5.5, just take it down. We're gonna go to the turn. For free! We do see a 5. Malika picks up a 3 of a kind draw. Everybody's almost got enough showdown value just to check and not enough value to bet. So it seems like a checking situation. One of those situations where everybody checks. Da-do-do-do. Da-do-do-do. Check, dude, hurry up. We are living in a fucking short period of time in a vast universe. Here these people are. They're just sitting there, taking their time, just watching the screen and the time tick by before they press the check button. So bizarre, this game we play. How many lives do you get? Just one? What do you do during it? I don't know, I just kind of sat there. Just sat there for a big chunk of it. You thinking about anything important? No, just pretending to think. Just pretending to have a think. What did you actually think about? Nothing! I didn't think about a fucking thing. Thought about how boring it was to sit there watching the time tick by. 8-7 suited. Just fold for Gav. Jack 9 suited for Malika comes in for the open. Ace queen for European. Do it, dude. 3-bet. What do we do? 3 blind? No, not 3 blinds. Oh my god. 3-bet, but how many blinds? 3 blinds! Stupid brain just says 3 blinds! Ace queen European, 3 bets, 24 blinds. That's an all-in size. They take it down pre. I was wondering if we want to go like 6 or like 5.5, try to induce some 4-bet jams. European says no, just rip. I really like a small 3-bet there. It doesn't necessarily play great post-flop, that ace queen though. There's a lot of misses. I kind of like it. Kind of like the small 3-bet. European's the wizard though. 9-9, Malika opens it up. King 6, no, that probably just lets this go. We really don't have a great reason to defend this pre, and chips matter a lot right now. 2 players off the money. We got 3 players in that 20 blind range. So I can see how things are going to get really interesting. Sniff in a very comfortable spot here. Although we're just going to be quiet as fuck for a while. Gavs with the suited ace still comes in for the open. Like, if Sniff starts to fold this ace in the big blind facing the under the gun open, it starts to make sense now. That ace 9 earlier was questionable. We don't really want to 3-bet. That don't make much sense. I don't hate the fold now. Although the same principles are at play with that ace 9 earlier. I just think they're more prevalent, or they're more important now. What would you say? It's like the significance of those dynamics are now becoming relevant. Jack 9 suited, star wins, opens it up. Ace 3 suited for no let. It would be really cool to see a 3-bet. I don't know if it's going to come in. I don't think we want to call. A very small, like 4.7 blind 3-bet is beautiful. It's very difficult to pull off here. They just go for the 3-bet all in, which is really cool as well. 22 blinds, we just jam facing the big stacks open. No let. You know what? I think what European and no let just demonstrated there was the fact that when you come in for those small 3-bets, you actually might just get fucked up by a better player with the 4-betting and like potentially going post flop and shit. So maybe that's why you just want to 3-bet jam sometimes. That makes a lot of sense. It's not because you're necessarily going to make a mistake, but your opponent's just going to play fucking beautifully, and it's going to be very difficult. So why don't you just take a situation that is remarkably easy and undefendable, or it is guaranteed to be good. That 3-bet jam there, 22 blinds, you just know it's good. You don't even got to do no thinking. You're like, I know I've got a very good play and I don't want to potentially fuck up in another avenue that I could take. Makes a lot of sense. But the Jack here, we come in for a small 3-bet. We don't mind the all-in play. Oh, we get a very small 4-bet. 9.5 blinds. This is beautiful. I don't think no let calls. I think we could 5-bet non-all-in, which is funny. The 5-bet all-in makes a lot of sense here, too. Do we ever just like click it back like 13.5 or whatever the size is? That's some funny shit. 9-9 star wins right back in there. Ooh, Gav's Queen 9 suited calls the button. 5's in the big, or in the small, sorry. 5's in the small call. European in the big. King Queen suited. We could like 3-bet here. Did we ever just 3-bet rip King Queen suited 27 blinds deep? I like a call. It makes a lot of sense. There's the jam though. There's the jam. Starwinds might have to fold 9s. They're playing like 80 blinds effective with Malika. 60 some with Gavs. Can we go just call 27? Or do we just rip it all in with like 80 blinds effective? Well, 5. Yeah, no, like you folded 9s. The 5s call? Wow! 25 more into a pot of what would be like 60? I don't hate the jam now! Nice little play by European. It's almost one of those things where it's like, I don't even think y'all can call, dude. Even if you wanna. Good luck calling. Jesus Christ. Malika now. Ace 2. Holy fuck. So like 34 now for European, 37.5 for no let. Great dance, just under 30 blinds. They're still in the game here. Like a double up away from being one of those big stack like Gavs or Sniff. Jack 10 suited Gavs comes in for the open. Oh, I didn't even recognize Ace King sitting right beside it. There's a 3-bet here. This is cool. Ace 8 will fold. Gavs might have to call the 3-bet. Jack 10 suited. Very playable holding. Better than Queen Jack suited too. Oh, Jack 10 just hits the muck. Okay. 4-4 European. Looks like an open here. 34 blinds effective. They might take it down pre. No let with a 6 and a 5 in the big. We could call and see a flop now. Wow, set versus an open ender. PokerStar's trying to set up some action here. Says, you know what, guys, we need to hurry up the game. This is just like the one existence people get, and we're forcing people to sit here for hours upon hours. PokerStars punches in a code. You're getting a set here for European. No let goes for the check raise with the open ender. I kind of like a 3-bet with the set, even though you're gonna potentially get some folds. A small 3-bet makes a lot of sense. European calls, and we get a beautiful queen of spades on the turn. The straight draw is still open-ended. The flush draw missed. You're not really going to have Jack 10 on the turn here. This 6 high probably has to go for another bet. Something like half pot. 8 blinds into 14. That makes a lot of sense. And 4s probably just call again and call whatever the river is. Just giving no let the opportunity to bluff it off. Is he going to take the spot on the river? Or do you just jam now and try to get value from some sort of like King X? 2 pairs in the lot? It does make some sense here to protect your equity on the turn. Because I don't know if the 5 or the 6 high, the open ender is going to bluff on the river. So if like your opponent's not going to bluff with their bluffing range on the river, you may as well get value on the turn, right? If that bluffing frequency just goes, it's like, how many bluffs do they got? Yeah, they're still all there. How much do they bluff? You may as well get that turn value, dude. On a dynamic ass board too. King 4 suited. I love the 3-bet here. It's no King 6 suited, but it does the same job. Ace 3 suited. We can think about a 4-bet from the big. I don't think the whale's going to find it, but if we made it 14 blinds, we're going to take it down pre. We only risk 14 to win 10. That's not amazing. I really like a 4-bet here from the big. The thing is, he does it. The whale found it, dude. He's gonna take it down pretty. Beautiful play by the whale. There's been some questionable tanks, and that ace-9 was a weird fold pre-flop. Although, it's like the concepts and the whale, like the whale's doing great here. Dude, doing nothing but picking up chips. They would go for a 4-bet there with the suited ace. Beautiful play. Not even just a 4-bet. That's a cold 4-bet from the big blind. Very beautiful play by the whale. European with the 8-8. We'll open it on up. We got some hands here. Ace-10 for star wins. I like the call. I was going to say some players might prefer 3-bet. Just chuck it in the bluffing range. I think it just makes a lot of sense to go post-flop sometimes. King-Queen suited for Gavs. In the big, Jack-4 will fold. The whale will also think about it before folding. Boink, 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 boink. 10-7 folds. King and a queen in the big blind. Let's see a flop here, dudes. Is there a 3-bet coming in? It's suited, unbooted, ready to play. There's the 3-bet to 9 blinds. I don't know if we're going to do much with the 8s here. We don't really want to call 7 more blinds with 8-8, giving star wins a chance to come along. Yeah, we're just going to fold. These 3-bets pre are working out beautifully here today. Queen 10 suited, great down will open. No let with the king 10 suited, 1 seat beside him. I ain't even too sure what we're going to do. 18 blinds deep. That's a bigger opening size too by Great Dant, 2.3 blinds. You can't really call, right? That's the thing. You can come in for a real small 3-bet, like, no, that wouldn't make much sense, like 4.9. No, just rip it in or fold. Not surprised to see the fold in this situation. No let thinks about it and says, I can't do nothing here. Sniff the whale with the queen 6. We're going to see the game progress as everybody folds, facing the Great Dant. Open 6-6. Star wins first place position. Just barely, though. Malika just sniffing on his butthole now. Right behind him, he's like, I smell you, dude. And Star wins is like, dude, why are you by my butt? We're not dogs. 6s. Open up under the gun. What else is going on here? Absolutely nothing. A couple king 5s in the blinds, which is cool because the suits are like changed up, but they're the same hand. So that's kind of cool. The 6s take it down pre. 5-4 suited for sniff. We'll see if they come in for the open here. We got the big stack in the big blind. We got 2 big stacks to our left. We don't necessarily want to come in for a lot of opens in this situation. 5-4 suited is still very playable. We can open. Sniff says I'm going to fold though. Which isn't even too outrageous or anything. It's only 5-4 suited. You got star wins in the big blind. That's the big stack with the suited ace. You don't know they have the suited ace, but you know they're in the big blind and that they got the big stack, so it makes sense to fold. King 2 suited for Malika facing the open from Gavs might 3-bet. Try to take it down pre. Ace 8 for star wins. Do we have a 4-bet bluff? Ace 8 is no Ace 5 or Ace 3 or anything like that. There's a world where we find a 4-bet still with the Ace 8 suited. And Star Wins is in the tank. What do we go, like 14.5 or so or fold? Star Wins says, I'm a tinkin' fold. See, that's the thing where like, sniff with the Ace 3 4-bet earlier. That was like a very nice play. The Ace 8 suited 4-bet is like one of those plays that the numbers probably tell you not to do it. But then you're like, I'm going to exploit the fuck out of my opponents because I don't even give a shit about what the numbers tell me to do. So it's more of one of those plays. As we saw Malika 3-betting with the King 2 suited. So if you know your opponent's 3-betting a whole bunch, start to stick in some 4-bets. Don't be a puss. Lean on the numbers. Oh, the numbers tell me I need to use Ace 5 suited. Oh, shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. King 10 suited opens under the gun. Great down with Jack 10 suited in the big. Jack 10 suit. I think we just call, right? And we're just going post. We jam, 3-bet jam. We're going to take it down pre here with like 30% equity. What do you know? King 10 for Gavs. Do we come in for the open? Poor Nolette there, sitting off 15 blinds. Ace 9 in the bake. Malika's with got Jack Jack. King 10 for Gavs. Oh, they're going to fold off the 50 blinds. I see we got like the short stack in the big. We don't necessarily want to face a lot of 3-bet jams. With some raggedy ass king. We've got strong opponents behind. Ace 9 does rip into jacks. Nolette needs an ace, dudes. Or backdoor straight help. 8 or an ace. There's some also chop potentials with like a 3 or something. I don't know, dude, but we're going to lose Nolette. They take the spot with ace 9 and we're down to 6 players. 6 players, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, so Malika's in first now. 89 blinds approximately. 6-6 for star wins. Remember that big play with that ace, the suited ace for Malika earlier with Europeans Jack's call? Holy shit, do you remember that? That happened like, I don't know, 40 minutes ago or something? Hard to forget. But like, look at Malika now. He's just got this huge stack. He's in first place. The thing is, like I think I was mentioning at the very beginning of the show, as Starwin says a full house here. Once you when I was referencing Europeans' big ass stack sitting right next to Starwin's with the big ass stack. It's kind of the same thing. Malika had this big ass stack sitting approximately a couple seats over from European, out of position. He says, we're going to play 4-bet pots. Like, I'm going to try to fuck you up. And like European outplayed him. He got it in with 75%. Malika still scooped a 100 blind pot, dude. That's the cool thing about these fucking tournaments. And you get in these final table dynamics, and you just gotta fucking throw hands, dude. You just gotta play cards. Like, it was a beautiful bluff. It was a beautiful hero call. And then the river helped one opponent. Or one of the players. That's all. That's the game. Let me introduce you to the game of poker. Where you just punch each other in the face and then somebody wins. In this instance, it was Malika. And now look at him. He's in first place because he was punching, and now he's in first. Now he gets to try to throw punches some more. As we're one away from $15,000 being locked up. Ace-2 suited opens it up. Queen 4-0, 3 bets. Ace-2 in the muck. Get rid of that shit, the whale. Malika is not afraid. If the whale 4 bets, that's remarkable. We can go like 18 blinds. We don't have to go like 2x3s. The whale says, I just gotta fold, dude. There's money at play. I'm outie. Queen Jack suited star wins is in there. Malika. What was I just saying? Badoosh, badoosh, badoosh. Queen 4-0. 3 bets like 10 blinds. Suited ace in the muck. Welcome to poker. And the weird thing is, like, you'd think like maybe the number, like the $15,000, that's a big number. You can buy a vehicle or some shit with that. Like, the dynamics are still at play in those small-ass tournaments. And, like, it feels much easier sometimes. You think about it. Throwing the punches. But then you gotta, like, learn to, like, take a punch or two. So, like, you gotta learn to, like, face a 3. Badoosh. And then you gotta throw the 4-bet in. Badoosh. Throw it back. You gotta learn to take that first punch, though. You gotta learn to badoosh. Face, take that 3-bet. And then what do? 4-bet, boom. But if you didn't take the 3-bet punch, if you got afraid of the 3-bet punch, if you just took the punch, you folded your shitty little suited ace. Like, I can't take the 3-bet, dude. Well, you're gonna lose a lot of punches in punching battles. Ace Queen here for Gavs. King 10 for Malika. We might see some 3-bet action here. Gavs with the Ace Queen can get real fucked. Okay, so there's a world where Gavs opens, faces the 3-bet, calls the 3-bet. That's very fucking tricky. That's something that you're opening yourself to getting fucked in. But the thing is, if you're facing like that 6.6 blind sizing Malika's been going for, you're only putting in like less than 7 blinds, and if you miss the flop and in the 3-bet pot, you don't have to continue necessarily. You can't just move along. We don't even get the 3-bet, so Fuck all those words. Ace queen is a straight draw to the king. Couple of overcards. Malika with the second pair of tens. Backdoor royal flush draw in there, which is not possible with the ace of spades in Gav's hand. What a shame. I think Kingdom just calls here. No real reason to raise it up. King on the turn. That is Broadway. The nut straight versus two pairs. Yep, 40 blinds behind. Well, with a small bet, 3 blinds into 10. Gavs with the nuts is still going to get another 40 or 37.5 blinds in there, regardless of the small bet. One liner to a queen. I just eat all my words and they taste like shit. There's a bunch of coffee breath words. Ace queen, we bet how big do we bet here? We're getting called by the two pair. We're not getting all of it though. This is not going to be an all-in play. 8 blinds, half pot. We just get called by two pairs. And two pairs might think about a fold. Malik is a very strong player. I think we still have to click the call button. I could be wrong though. There might even be King Jack in there. Is this a fold? I don't need a fold by the King 10. It's a small bet. Miss flush draw in there. What would bluff like this though? Some sort of like ace? No. No. 10. No. Some sort of like 9, 8. I needed diamonds or something? Man, there's very few bluffs here if we're being honest. I can't find too many. Like natural bluffs, that is. Unless your opponent's just doing some raggedy weird shit. Nice fold by Malika in the end there. Yeah, it's like you can't find too many bluffs. Weird sizing on the turn. I see the purpose, and then it's just weird that Malika called the two pairs. And they face a half pot size bet on the river. On the turn, I was like, we're getting this all in for 37 blinds. 37 more coming our way. We didn't get one more. We got 3 blinds on the pair. We got 3 blinds on the turn versus 2 pairs with the nut straight. And that's it. What? Jeez. Those words tasted poor. At least 6 star wins will come in for the open here, I presume. What a stupid little hand that was. Queen 2? Sorry, I couldn't even say words. There's so little going on in these holdings. There's a queen and a 2 and like a 3 and a something. My brain couldn't process how to stick 2 words together. Anyways, 9-8 suited star wins, another open, another bunch of bullshit behind. King 2, Malika's. Not afraid? I'm not afraid. He's not afraid, but he's not going to 3-bet, I don't think. King 2 is a real shitty. I don't even think you want to call here. King 2 is my least favorite hand. That holds all the properties of a shit holding. King 2 calls, flops a pair of 2s. Backdoor flush draw in there. It's not suited. It's not connected. It's one high card and the lowest card. Dude, that's like all the properties of a shit holding. King 2 is one high card, one low card. No connectivity, no suit. He's got a high hand? He's got the ability to be a high card? Pair of 2s calls on the flop. The backdoor flush draw in there. 7 on the turn, pairs the board. We still got that straight draw to the 10 for star wins. 2 overs to that 2 with the 9 and 8. Plenty of equity. Pair of 2s leads out the turn super duper small. 9-8 is in a weird spot. I almost fold here. Even though you might be getting the price to call. You almost prefer to raise. 7 on the river. That's 3 of them. Look, there's 3 7s out there. Malika with a full house. Not all full houses are created equal. This has got to be the definition of the worst possible full house. Unless it's like 2s and 3s and shit. Anyways, 9 high goes for an 8 blind bet. That's cool. Compared, or the full house might call, even though it's like the worst full house possible. They're gonna raise, that'd be stupid. The 2 folds. Silly little hand there. That was a silly little fold, if we're being honest. Malik is a wizard. They're very, very good. Very competent player. I think that's a call on the river. I think so. Malik is much better than I, of course, though. 4-2. Might even go for a big open here. They do 3 blinds. Queen 10 suited for European. I think we just call. We see 3 cards. Let's play some poker. See, like, European just took a punch. Wadoosh! At 3 blinds, he just called. Wadoosh! Owie. Straight draw. 4-2. Let's see if it goes for a small bet. Oh, it goes for a big bet, dude. I don't know what we do with king or queen 10 now. Pair of 4s goes for a huge bet on a wet board. Straight draw, 2 overs for European. Not easy in position. Can we take another punch? Goodish! We took a punch. However, this time we might just be getting beat up by the pair of 4s. 16 in the middle. 29 behind. Does Malika just check? They drop the blocks. It's like, don't punch me back, dude. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to punch you twice. Just twice. I didn't mean to do it. Queen 10. I really want to see him throw a punch. Oh, another 4 on the river. Like, I'm wondering, how big do we go on the turn? 16, 30. Can't we just go like 6 or so? 2 flush draws. We probably want to go bigger than that. Can we just go like half pot on the turn? Rip it on the river? Or perceivably have the opportunity to rip it on the river. We get an overbet here. 23.5 blinds into 16 with the 3 of a kind for Malika. European with queen highs thinking about a hero call. 29 behind. He bets 23.5. This is what we call a greedy bet. There's a lot of missed draws that's giving queen 10 a difficult time and thinking about a hero call. You represent so little hands with this big ass bet, and he just so happens to have the hand. He's like Malika's pretty much saying, hey, I have a 4. And he has a 4. He's got the 4. He's like, but like that's all he's saying he has. Like full houses maybe, but Europeans like, man, that's the flush draw that missed. The queen high is so potentially good. You're not saying you have ace 5 going for a 23.5 blind bet. You're like, I got a 4 better. That's it. Man, I think I should take a break. How long are we doing? Hour and a bit. How much longer do I got? Hour and 40. I should just take a break. Yeah, I'll be right back. Fuck it. We are back. Ace 9 for Gaves. Seems like an open. Star wins with the old king 10 in the big blind. King 7 suited for Malika. We got 3 betting potentials everywhere. 10-6 for the whale. We're gonna just wait and wait and wait and wait and float in the ocean. I'll let that shit go eventually. Ace 9 Gavs makes it 2.2 blinds. Are we 1 off the money? Oh yeah, we are. We are 1 off the money. We're just gonna call by king 7 suited, which is kind of odd. Malika wants to keep the pot small for some reason. We're 1 off the money. We could put pressure on Gavs. The ace 9 probably has to fold to the 3 bet. Unless we got some sort of dynamic brood where Gavs comes in for a lot of 4 bets or something. Even then, wouldn't we just think about dunking away the king 7 instead of calling pre-flop as we get an ace 3-2 board? Star wins with the backdoor nut flush draw. Ace 9 checks it over to the old king 7 of spades. Malika. The old king 7 no equity bluff says, nah, let's go to the turn where we see a jack. Start wins picks up a straight draw to the queen. Other than that, the board is locked up for Gabs is ace-9. Only 8 blinds in the middle. 8 blinds in the middle. Doink, doink, doink. Holy shit, this is taking forever. Another ace on the river here. 8 blinds in the middle, he says once again. Just like checks over to Gabs. Gabs goes for a value bet, takes the pot down. What size do we go? There's like 8 in the middle, somewhere around 6. We could also go like huge, like full pot, even bigger, trying to get caught by specifically like a jack, worse ace-x. Yeah. I like 6.5. Overbet, slight overbet. Gav says we'll go like 110% or so. The bet's still gonna get through any which way. King 10, no siree. No value for you. King 10 for Gavs again. Do we open this one? I don't know, dude. European sitting there with 28 blinds. Gav says, yeah, no reason to think about it. We're just gonna open. We'll get right back after it. Great down with a 9 and a 2 in the big. We'll get out of there. We'll be on to the next hand. So Gav sitting at about 30, very comfy third place position. The whale just behind him. 2 shorties with European and Great Dent. Malika and Star Wins both sitting at 80 blinds, which is pretty cool. Queen 4 in the big facing the under the gun open. It's an afterthought. European with ace-9, however. I like a small 3-bet bluff. There it is, 6 blinds. Gabs has a 4-betting hand, which is funny as shit. Great dent. We'll get rid of the 8-6 suited. Eventually. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. You know what I was thinking? We got a long time left to go in the video, which is hilarious. A long ways to go here, folk. We ain't even in the money yet. We've been at this for like an hour and a bit. Long way to go still. Ace-4, just find the 4-bet. Nice play by Gavs. They take down a hefty pot. Aces for Gavs. 8-8 for Malika. Opens under the gun. Jack 10 suited for European. Just gonna fold. Very nice fold. They don't come equal, but those folds look nice sometimes. Ace for Gavs. What size do we go? We are deep, just under 70 blinds. We could see a big ass 3-bet to like 10 blinds, but that might just take the pot down pre. So personally, I like a very comfy 9 or 8.5 blind size right now. 9 looks a little better, 9.5 maybe. Something a little under 10. Like 10 seems like too much. Oh, he goes exactly 10. 10 seems like too much. 9.5 seems cool. What do we do with 8s? We might still find the call facing the big ass 3-bet. There's a lot of ace-x. Suited, non-suited. Just let your imagination run wild, but your opponent could be 3-betting here. I think a call comes in. Oh, I'm wrong. Malika does get out of there. Your opponent had aces and you fold pre. Nothing wrong with that. I thought the 8s were going to call anyways. Malika with a couple nice folds. There was one weird little... What was it? Can't recall now, but there was one little situation where Malika folded and I was like, are you sure about that? Other than that, there's been quite a few nice folds by Malika. And then some very aggressive 3-bets. It's been a very fun game here, and the whale has been doing a great job as somebody that I'm not really familiar with. Gavs is doing good. They're running pretty good too, Gavs is. Not saying the chips are undeserved. They're sitting in 3rd place with like 70 blinds. King 2 will raise and take it down pre. Blind on blind. European got fucked early with the jack and the jack after a huge call. Star Wins. You know, they started off really quiet. We had a lot of action where Star Wins was just not taking part in, and it wasn't due to some sort of intentionalness. It was just simply they didn't have any cards, but then as soon as they got a few cards, they've been getting after it a lot. Still maintaining very high position in the standings. Great Dant has played a little bit. I love Great Dant. They're one of these people that show up quite frequently at these final tables. Always fun to watch, but I don't typically see them run good. They typically run like shit from my viewing experiences. So I typically don't get to see them have the huge stack, but whenever they do, they are a monster themselves. I remember, I think there was like some that I like, I don't even know, maybe it's like just a couple of years ago when I first started doing some of these commentaries. Great Dant was on some final tables with some big stacks, and he was just fucking beating people up left, right, and center. It was really fun to watch. And then, I don't know, it seems like there's been a huge period of where he comes in with like not necessarily a short stack, but not like the first place position, sits in like 4th place, and then gets fucked up by the cards. It's a real shame, but like, I don't know, perseverance. 10-10 for the whale opens it up. Ace Queen just calls from the cutoff for Gavs. King Jack for star wins. I reckon there's a world where Great Dant eventually gets back to being a huge winner. You know, I could see that. Who knows? 10-10. The whale is in a weird spot. Star wins. Very sneaky 3-bet. Gets 10s to fold pretty. $15,000 must mean a lot to a whale. $15,000 must mean a lot to a whale. Holy, that's a horrific sentence. Ace Queen calls, and we get an Ace King 6 flop. Those 10s look like a good fold now, but what do you do facing that 3-bet? 10-10. You don't really want to call. You could rip it in with a couple of shorties there. Ugh. Maybe 10s do just fold. I don't know. At first I thought the 10s need to do something, but the more you talk about it, I don't know if the 10s should do anything other than fold there. Feels like you're going to be opening yourself to getting bullied a lot. Gavs calls the flop, obviously. 2 pairs for star wins. 31.5 in the middle, 44.5 behind. Yikes, we need to see an Ace Queen or 10. Gavs is in some trouble. Oh, the 2 pair checks. 2 flush draws out there. 2 pairs checks it over. It is interesting. Like, you're trying to like think about how do you still get value here as we get a queen on the river, or sorry, 6 on the river, which gives Gavs the best hand. Sorry, I didn't realize the 6 was going to be good as well. 2 pairs, aces, 6s with the queen kicker beats the 2 pairs with the kings and jacks, ace kicker. Do. Gavs can think about a value bet here, that's for true. He actually just checks, even blocking that nut flush. 31 blinds will slide over to him. Very interesting hand there. That check on the turn ended up saving star wins like a lot of chips, even though it looks silly. 2 pairs, 2 flush draws out there, and you check now? What? You just get a magical river that fucks your hand, you'll lose 30 blinds. And then you're like, oh, phew, I only lost, you know, I only put 15, phew, I only put 15 blinds in there and lost them. Phew! Ace 9 for Malika opens it up. Ace 7, European wisely folds. A boink, boink, boink. 9s take it down pre. What the fuck else is going on here? Not too much. There's a couple king highs that might fold. Malika's in second. Biggest stack left in the hand. King 8 off. Let's get after it, Malika says. The whale in the big 6-7 seems like a call here, for being honest. I don't know what the whale's gonna do. It actually isn't too bad of a strategy to kind of just fold your way into the money here for the whale. Obviously those 10s opening up was necessarily, but then folding to the 3-bet, it does make some sense. Certainly makes some sense. Then Great Dant with this 8-6 suited is in a weird spot on the button. It folds to him. Feels like a hand that you have to open, but in this instance, he says chips are too important. Gavs is probably going to call wide as fuck. Even this 10-2 suited might even go to the flop. You gotta hope he doesn't hit the flop just so you can try to buy a little pot. Anyways, Great Dant says, no, I'm just going to preserve my situation. King 5 suited will limp it in for the whale. 10-2 suited will go for the raise for Gavs here. And it'd be cool to see the whale call. I don't know if it's going to happen. A 3-bet is cool as well. You can go like 7.5, 8, 8.5. 8.5 is best. Bigger than 7.5. It's too small. 8 is really cute. Just 3-bet 8 blinds. Deep in the tank. It feels less good now. When you just sit here in the tank and you're like, I don't know what size to go. You sit here for 20, 30 seconds. I got no fucking clue what size I should make this race. Sit there for a whole minute. No clue. 8? I don't know. 12? What size? You go 16? Pair 10s here for Gavs in position. We could just... Huh. Middle pair does not mind just checking and seeing turns. Another queen on the turn there. King 5. What do we do? What do we do? We could try to bluff ace high off the pot. Ace high doesn't mind checking back the flop sometimes. Gavs with that pair 10 should get a little value here on the turn, or at least try. Third pot size bet makes a lot of sense. They say we're no off to the river for free, where the whale makes a pair of kings, making the best hand. They check. This will go check, right? Does Gav try to get called by a 4 or an ace somehow? He could. Very small bet. Anything above half pot doesn't make too much sense. Nasty little king on the river. Hard to get called by worse here. It's still possible, but Gavs wisely checks in the whale. Just takes the pot. Somehow we see like no action there. Again, Gavs is in a weird spot where he's like, phew, thankfully I only raised 3 blinds pre, made a pair, checked it down to the river and lost. Phew. Whale here on the button with this ace. Seems like a raise, but the dynamics at play. Malika will just get a walk with the pair of 5s. And ace-king suited. Like 10-8 suited. Surely we gotta open this here. We got a shorty in the big blind. We got Gavs and Malika to our left. We could just dunk this. Dynamics at play. It's just like, phew. See you later. Ace-king suited Malika. Malika small raise. Like 2.5, 2.7. There you go. Malika, beautiful play here. European might come along in position with the 8-7-0. Again, we're in a spot where chips mean so fucking much. They mean so much. Having one chip. Oh, and we got a couple ace jacks and an ace queen. Wait. Great Dan's gonna open here. See, this is one of those situations where Great Dan's just getting completely fucked. He's gonna open. Malika 3 bets. European probably folds his ace jack. And Great Dan gets it in and fucked. Fucked in the ass here, dude. Like, what? Does ace jack fold facing a 3 bet somehow? It's going to be interesting to see what size Malika goes. Ace queen suited. Do we call European rips, Great Dan folds, Malika calls? I guess there's a world where European gets fucked instead of Great Dan. Malika probably 3 bets here. 4 blinds. I love the size. European folds. If I'm Great Dan, I rip it in here. Right? Do you just fold because the situation you're above European, you're going into the big blind, which sucks. Nice fold by Great Dan. But you know what I said earlier about the card's fucking Great Dan? Nice fold, but god damn those cards tried to set him up. God damn. Those cards are so rude to the man. 10-4 suited, star wins. We can almost just rip it in pre, which is funny. There it is. We have 70%, and we got 10 high. It's suited. You don't know about the 70% thing. But you think about the other 2 things. You rip it all in. You say, hey, you can't really call too much. Oh, queen jack. What do we do? Uh-oh, star wins opens. Never mind. We just fold facing the open, I think. But if star wins folds, Great Dan might rip it in. And then does the whale call king queen? Weird spot. You should, but this situation might dictate that you fold facing the rip. I don't know. Queen jack still hasn't folded for Great Dan. They do rip it in 13 blinds. Queen jack could take this down pre, dudes. Fold, whale, fold. He can't really call. You'd have to like 4-bet all in. Okay, whale's out of there. 6-5 isn't calling. Nice play by Great Dant. Oof. Nice play by Great Dant. Picks up a few pennies there. 16.5 blinds. Ace 5. Weird spot. What do we do, Great Dant? Do we fold? We don't really want to jam 16.5. We don't really want to min raise. We're expecting to get absolutely fucked by some 3-bets. Great Dant just lets go of the ace 5 on the button there. Weird situation going on. 10-5 for the whale. They say, I don't want to get pushed around by Gavs again. There's fold. Queen 5 suited. Star wins folds. Queen Jack suited. Great Dant has to do something. I don't think we really want to just rip it in. We could, though. They come in for about a 2.5 blind raise. The ace for the whale will fold, I'm sure. Although a 3-bet will get the job done, of course. Wheel's out of there. Folds the Malika, 3-4 in the big. That 2.4 kind of deters some of these shittier holdings from calling pre. You're like, how does that 0.4 make a difference? But it does. Ace King. Another min raise here. Ace 4 from Malika could 3-bet. I think it might not, though. I think we're just going to give great... Oh, he just rips in like 20 blinds effectively. Puts in 10.5. Has 18 blinds. Pretty well rips in the ace king here. Very interesting. See, now you just deterred Malika from 3-betting, which is an interesting play. Although it also deters European from playing. We got ace king, so I'm not too sure. Anyways. We got a weird thing going on here. So the whale's probably not playing the 5-4. Aces, though, for Malika will open the button. King Jack for European might think about a jam, and then Star wins folds. However, if European folds the King Jack on from the small here, I would not be surprised to see a 3-bet all in. However, if European folds, there's the jam. Not surprised to see that. We got 13%. We need kings and jacks, dudes. Oh, another king or jack or spades? No, just a king. Just a king. It does not come. 26 blind. Slide over to Malika. We all scoot into the money. 15K locked up. And it looks like a break somehow. A little break somehow. We are not even halfway there. Whoa. Not quite halfway there, just about halfway there. 9-9, Great Dant opens it up. I guess there's a few breaks that you'll skip through, but dang, this is a long one. Queen 10 for the whale in the big blind. Flop and top pair, 9-9 for Dant. We can go for a little C-bet, not too big. Little C-bet here. We can just check it back as well. I like the quarter pot size bet, very small. Ba-boo, 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 boo-boo. 4 on the turn. We can almost go for another really small bet. I like 1/3 on the turn now. Let's check back the river, providing it's not a 9. You could just check as well, though. But then you might have to call a river bet, which isn't going to be the size that you want. So I love this play by Great Dant. And you face a check raise on the turn, you just fold. King on the river goes check, check. Beautiful played hand of poker. Great Dant loses about 7.5 blinds. No way we jam for value. No reason to. Check, check, lose the hand. Nicely played. Ace Jack suited for Gavs. They will open it up. The whale with a pocket pair of 5s. King 9 suited is a 3-betting hand. There's a world where we just 3-bet. Gavs takes this post flop. A couple of aces being dead. Ooh, Malika just calls instead. Never mind. Ace 5. Oh, not really ace 5 suited. I don't think we even want to call here. We just fold 5-5. We'll click the call button from the small. Great down with ace 9. We'll think about a 3-bet jam. Because it's one of those situations like earlier where what the fuck does Gavs do? You might still flick in a call here. 72 deep, 13.5 blind jam. I think you can call because Malika might be thinking about a fold facing the jam. Anyways, we just get a call by Great Dant in the big blind. Couple diamonds out there for Malika. Nobody has a pair though. Gavs gives up essentially. King 9 suited. Could go for a bet here. We just go like half pot. Go smaller? I like half pot. Malika says go smaller, Brendan. You're wrong. I'll take that. What do you say? Take that knowledge on with the fucking open mind. Way to go. Learn some stuff. Yay. Gavs here could come along. This is the thing about the small bet is where you're like, Ace Jack is on the cusp of calling here. Anyways, the little bet does still just get the job done. But Ace Jack was just like, oh, a little bit more, and maybe I call. Maybe I call. Or I guess if it's a little bit smaller. And he's just on the cusp of calling. He finds the fold. Whereas if you get that half pot bet, you're just sticking a half pot bet, that Ace Jack is like, fuck it, dude. I can't really do much right now. And then folds. So Great Dant with the 8 Jack might rip it in. Gavs with the Ace Jack is just going to call. Just a call for Gavs. Malika quickly folds. We're looking for 8s diamonds. There's a little 10-9 queen something or something. A little 10-9-7 action. Bunch of diamonds or some shit. A bunch of 8s. 8s, dude. Think about a diamond or an 8. How about an 8? There you go. There you go, dude. Oh, somebody thought about that 8. Who was it? Somebody put a comment down there. Who was it? You? Did you think about the 8? You think about that really hard in the 8 game? Was that you? You watching there? Fucking 8. You just thought real hard about it. Well, bam. PokerStar says, well, bam, no problem. Little 8. Great Dant survives. We got 5 players. No wonder this video is like 4 hours long. PokerStars is like, here's a little action, here's a little action, here's a bam 8 for you. Little 3-outer, no problem. Oh, you want 23 blinds? Here you go. Bam. King 9 lips it in. Queen 10 for star wins. I think we just check and see 3 cards dealer. Man, Gavs could have used those 23 blinds right now. Anyways. We both got some backdoor straight draws on the paired board. We might see a small 1 blind bet by either player, and the other player calls. Checks makes lots of sense. No real reason to bet too big, but we could look to try to clean up some equity with a Queen 10, trying to get some sort of like 6-5, some sort of just random ass 2 cards. Not to see anymore. King 5, get that to fold or something. Anyways, goes check, which also makes plenty of sense. 6 on the turn, brings in a flush draw that neither player has. No, there's no flush draw for either player, but we got less than 3 blinds in the middle, and I still have to talk as I'm doing a commentary here. Another 6 on the river. See what would happen if I just didn't say the words that like are unnecessary as shit? Can you imagine if this was the video? Me just staring at the camera. We're both just watching the fucking game being played. King High takes down a little pot. Okay, joke's over. 3-3 for the whale in the big. King 6. Malika is going to come in for the open here with that big ass stack, just under 100 blinds. Blinds have gone up plenty of times, but that don't matter at all. It looks like they may have went up after there was, once we hit the money. There may have been a day break or something like this. 977. Malika goes for a little C bet. Threes are in a weird spot, but I think we want to call one. We're at the backdoor flush draw. We don't really want to check raise at all. That don't make much sense. No, it doesn't. We clean up our equity, but... So it makes a sliver of sense. It's just that I think it's a little unnecessary in a way. Kind of just bloating this pot. This little pair takes it down. Malika with kings. 2-3 suited for the whale. No, that's out of there. No action for the big stack. 7 deuce. That's out of there too. You can imagine Great Dant just comes in for some big ego 3-bet. No, he did not. 7 deuce hit the muck. Ace 3 Starwinds might open. Great Dant with Ace Jack at 3-bet, saving Gavs with the pocket pair of 6s. There's the open. I think Dant just rips and takes it down pre. Kind of weird for Gav sitting there with 60 blinds. You do cover Starwinds, but you... Oh, sorry, I thought he went for a different bet. 11 blinds is pretty well an all-in here, even though it's half a stack. Like, there's a world where Gavs rips and then Starwinds rips and then Great Dant folds, preserves 10 blinds. Not fucking likely, but it could make him 9 grand. In that world. If, say, Starwinds busted. Anyways, we're moving along. We still got 5 players. Starwinds, King, Queen is going to open it up. We got a Queen Jack in the big blind, a calling hand. Ace 4 for Great Dant. Not really going to 3-bet here. It ain't suited. Like, you could make it like 5.5 or something if you want to go for a bluff. I don't think it's coming. Then Great Dant says, no, it's just not. Just not going to come. Queen Jack will call. We'll see 3 cards. We'll go from there. How about that? Little Queen 10-8 board. Oh, both players with the top pair. No problem, Poker Stars. You got a straight draw for Malika to the 9. We're just waiting here for Starwinds to pick a size. They go 1/3, which is standard as shit. He probably has a preset button. Queen Jack. Finds the call. Deuce on the turn. Looking for a little Jack or 9 here if you're a Malika fan. If you want Starwinds to take down a pot, hope for a deuce on the river. Non-diamond, something really low. Starwinds bet 6 blinds. Malika's not folding here. They were priced into a turn in every which way. 6 into what will be 20.5. 6 on the river. Does it go check on the river somehow, or does Starwinds sneak in another hefty value bet? I wonder if we just go 14.5 and say fucking good luck. Nope. We just check it down and take down the 20 blind pot. The thing is, there's a world where Malika folds the river with the Queen Jack. Like, I don't know. It's like we didn't get to see what would happen. And I'm like not too sure what I would do with the old Queen Jack and the big facing 3 streets there. So it's like, when you don't think your opponent's going to call, or you think they may fold to a value bet, and you've got them pipped by 1 card, you should really just check back the river there. Which is what Starwinds did. He says, I don't know if you're even going to call with a worse top pair. I just check here. Great Dant, however, he makes a top pair. Comes in for the open Gavs with Ace 10, calls the button. Backdoor straight draw, Ace High could be best. Great Dant says, I'm going to check it on over to you. How about that one? We don't got too many draws out there. Potentially like 5-6 is open-ended. Ace 10 even goes for like a third or a little bit less than that pot size bet. Well, we wah. Top pair call, 6 on the turn. This might just go check. Gavs doesn't have a great reason to continue bluffing with their hand. The specific Ace 10, but they could try to get like some pocket pair to fold at some point. Something like a better Ace X? That doesn't make much sense. You might have enough showdown. Nah. I think Ace 10. I think we just gotta show it down and lose a lot. There's not a lot of winning here with the Ace 10 after that small bet on the flop. Not too much winning. Great Dent goes for some value with their top pair, takes it down, and the blinds do go up there. Malika with the king 4 will open it up. King 7 for the whale in the big blind. I don't know how this goes on for like another 2 hours. I'm not too sure about that. I've already been doing it for 2 hours. How does it persist on for 2 more hours? Any which way, we got a flush draw for the whale. It's kind of interesting just to think about it. Like, how does it proceed? How does that even happen? And you're sitting here. You're like going to sit here for 2 hours thinking the whole time, how does it even go on? How does it go on, dudes? Anyways, king 4 from Malika. Looks like they went for a c-bet on the flop, checks down to the river. Are we chopping this? 2, 3. No, we're not. We are not chopping this. King 7 is going to scoop, might even go for a bluff. It does not. King 4 might check it down with some showdown value. A sliver. No, he goes for a bluff and King 7 might have to fold, which is funny. It would be cool to see a hero call with the better king here. Not this time. Nice play by Malika. That's one of those situations where, like, it's like, you think to yourself, can you see that guy's cards? Like, look at, how did you know he just has a king 7 that, like, barely beats you? And you go for some bluff that, like, barely prices him out from calling. And it's not, like, necessarily, like, mathematically prices him out. It's like, you know that individual over there is internally priced out of the pot based off your sizing. It's quite a beautiful little game of poker we're playing here. Ace 8 comes in for the open 4-4 for the whale. 5-5 for Great Dent. Weird spot for these small pocket pairs. 4 should just call. There's a world that they can fold as well. And 5s. Like, I don't hate a fold by 4s. I almost always call there, though. You're like 40-some blinds deep. The thing is, Gavs is going to come in for a lot of 3-bets. Great Dent can 3-bet all in a lot. Malika is still opening. So you don't have to play the 4s. I love to. Queen 8 suited. Calling hand here. Flopping 2 pairs. Malika's got that 8 as well. So if we see an ace, things are going to get real crazy. A 5 would also work for Great Dent. Malika's kind of got a checking hand here with the middle pair, top kicker, backdoor flush draw. Interesting. They go for this small ass bet. Great Dent probably just folds. Gavs might check raise and take the pot down. We're about to find out though now, aren't we? Great Dent with the 5 somehow still hasn't folded. He calls that pocket pair with some backdoor equity. Very little backdoor equity. 5s call. I think Gavs just has to raise here and they're going to take it down always. What size? Like 7.5? 7. Malika's probably out of there even with a little bit of backdoor equity. Great Dent does not have a great reason to call this check raise, let alone the... Oh, initial bet. What the hey? Malika calls. Great Dent out of there. So we need an ace. Malika needs an ace. 22 blinds in the middle. Jack on the turn completes 10-9 for a straight. Brings in another flush draw. We can just go like half pot. We want to go pretty big. I don't think we need to rip it in. Like half pot is great. 27 behind. There'll be 44 in the middle. Gavs is deep in the tank. I don't think you want to go less than half. I don't really think you want to go more than half. Less than half makes more sense. So if you want like 7 blinds, 1/3 somehow. Just go a third pot on the turn here on this board. You still might like eke out a get some calls by some worse queens. What do you do here in Gavs' shoes with the 2 pair? Did anybody see that one calling? Or anyone... holy fuck, he fucked his words. Did anyone see that one happening? He checks it over with the 2 pairs. My god, I hate myself sometimes. Ace 8 goes deep in the tank here now. Can you imagine some stupid ace on the river? 9 blinds! Does Gavs check raise jam the turn? What? This is a bluff here, I think, from Malika. We're not... Well, the stupid sentence there again. Obviously, he's not going for value. There's the check raise jam. Easy fold, ace 8. We're really trying to get some shit to fold there with that 8, though. Right? What does like queen X do? Can you rip the river? Weird hand. Kind of wanted to see Gav's checks call, but like the hand itself makes a lot of sense just to check raise jam, protect your equity. Instead of facing some nasty river where you don't have a fucking clue what to do. You just check raise all in. Take it down there and move along. Both players with 5-7, kind of cool. Both with 3 in a row. Backdoor flush draw from Malika. Ooh, there's that flush draw. No equity here for Gavs. They are guaranteed to chop or lose. Turn could go check. I'm wondering what the hell is Malika trying to do with a bet here. I go for this really small bet. This is interesting. I'm trying to think, what the heck are we trying to do with a bet? We're just going to clean up our equity, I guess. Clean it up. Give it a little shining. Take your equity. Give it a little, what do they call it, elbow grease. Go make it squeaky clean. He's too suited for Gavs. They come in for an open. Star wins in the big with a king 8. And I could use some chicken nuggets right now. That'd be kind of cool. Oh, I got onion rings. I should make some of those perhaps. I'm also really hungry for just about anything. I go for like a peanut butter sandwich. Got some beef in the fridge with some gravy. Holy shit, that's the bomb diggity. I got an open, or that's not an open-ended. I got a straight flush draw though to the 5 of hearts. Star wins with 2 live cards with that king and 8 and has a perceived backdoor flush draw that is null and void. 5.5 blinds in the middle. Gavs will go for a C bet and probably just take the pot down. That'd be cool to see it. Oh, there's that 5. Not a heart though. Star one's bluff somehow. I don't think so. Like King of Hearts is an interesting card because you block some hands that are gonna call you. You could try to get something like King X to fold. Imagine like King 10 of whatever. You block King 10 of Hearts, so it's like, nah, what are you gonna do with some random ass King X? That's better than me. I could just try to get you to fold. Starwin says, I'm actually not gonna do any of that. I'm just gonna check fold myself. Gavs with the straight. Right? Don't we just check fold the King 8? What? There you go. Queen Jack suited for Star wins. Folds around to him. We'll raise and take it down pre. I would presume we could limp it in as well, forcing the wheel to see a flop. That's actually a really cool strategy. It's not always the most effective, but you just limp it in. You're like, hey, you're forced to come along to a flop with me, dude. You can raise if you want, but you're literally forced to see a flop. We got a break. I'm just skipping through it. Obviously. I'm hungry, but what should we do? Holy fuck, we still got like 2 hours. You take that into account. We zoom it up a little bit. Do I just gotta power all the way through? Holy shit. 2 more hours. What a poor decision it was to partake on this adventure. Malika, ace 5. Opens it up. Ace queen for the whale. The whale. Thinking about a 3 bet here. 7.5 blinds is their size. I don't think Malika 4 bets the non-suited ace 5. They just fold and gets out of there. Ace king opens it up. Ace 7 for Gavs in the big. Queen 9 for Great Dant. That's a fold. 6-3 for the whale. That took too long. Boop, boop, boop. Let's see 3 cards. Well, I could use like some KFC chicken. Something like super crispy, greasy. There's some nice seasoning. Makes you have some shitty poos the other day. Or next day. Ace king. Flops a straight draw to the jack. 2 overs. Goes for a small C bet. Ace 7. I could beat some draws, but it doesn't have a great reason to continue here. Queen 9 for the whale. 8-8 for Gavs. Alright, the whale didn't even open. So it Gavs with 8s in the small. We do cover Malika. We're still going to limp it in here. Keep the pot small. A6 just checks it back. Keeps the pot small. 10-10-5 is the board. So the thing is, like, both these opponents have some playability. They don't want to build a big-ass pot in a situation where their chips mean a lot. Their position of being in first and second place mean a lot. Both players are incentivized to keep the pot small. Malika goes for a tiny minimum bet. Gavs with the 8s could go for a little raise, like 3 blinds if they want. 3.5 even. They just say, fuck it, we're going to call ace on the turn. Like there's a world where, no, Malika probably bets the turn. Not too big, probably like 3/4 or less. Oh, we just check the top pair on the turn. Ace on the river makes a full house for Malika. Gavs' pair of 8s is counterfeit. He plays aces and 10s with an 8 kicker. We could go for a bluff here, try to get some sort of jack high, queen high to fold. Says, fuck it, I'm actually just done. It's very cool. Like, Gavs has like almost no showdown value. There's like 0 chance to win. And he says, I don't even think I can bluff here. And his opponent just so happens to have a full house who goes for an overbet and takes the pot down. King 10 for the whale. I think this one's an open 4-handed. We've got 4 players getting pretty even with chips above 44 blinds, and then Great Dant hanging out at just under 20. Nice little play by the whale. Just a little raise, take it down pre, moving on along. Ace and a queen for star wins. Ace and a queen, ace and a queen. Ooh, king 8 Gavs comes in for the wide open here. From the cutoff, being in second place, says I'm going to put some pressure on the whale and the other 2 big stacks. 15k locked up for these players. We see a 3-bet to 10 blinds from star wins. Who didn't they start this bad boy off with like some 160 blinds or something like this? Obviously blinds went up, but you see them sitting there barely in 3rd place. Cool to see how the chips fly around. 5-4. We could open here. We got kind of a weaker player in the small. Great Dant the shorty in the big. Could have opened. We say nope. Jack 4 limps it in. 8-3 is forced to see a flop. Jack 4 is a weird hand where it's got like nothing going on except Jack high. Faces a raise to 3 blinds. Easy fold. Great Dant with a little steal there. Gets the job done. 10-6 suited. The whale probably should open the button there. Says no. The Gavs with the king 6. Oh, we just gotta walk. Moving along. Queen 5. I don't know if Great Dant opens here. Weird spot, 20 blinds. 2s for Malika would probably just 3-bet jam facing our open. Great Dant says there's too many 3-betting hands. We just gotta fold pre. 10-5 for Gavs. Limps it in. Another shit hand. 10-5, 0 ability to make a flush or straight. Connecting its 2 cards together, however. We can play post flop. 2s just check it back. Ace 9-8 is the board. Gavs goes for a half pot size bet. This is a weird spot where we both got backdoor flush draws, so there's a world where there's some bets and some calls. Malika says we're just gonna check it back pre and fold the pair of 2s. That was a good crack. Ace 7 for Gavs probably opens it up. King Queen suited for Malika. Gonna come in for a 3-bet from the small. We could just call as well. Calls make sense. Let's go to the flop here. Star wins, get the hell out of there with your king 4, although you're getting a great price. 8-8-6 is the board. That's 3 in a row for Gavs. We got a couple overs for Malika. They check it over without a heart on the board. They are bored of the hand. Ace 7 can just go for like a 3rd pot size bet and King Queen's already thinking about folding. Instead, we go to the turn for free, and chicken nuggets recur in my mind. Chicken nuggets, yum. King Queen makes top pair, goes for a 4 blind bet. 2/3. Ace 7. So there's a lot of draws out there. That 7 of spades is actually a really shit card to hold, blocking straight draws and flush draws. Gavs wisely folds. That's kind of the cool thing about poker, you know, where it's like you got 2 cards that ain't really connected, but they both come into play still somehow, where that 7 is like dictating the value of your ace high. So it's like this raggedy ass 7 that doesn't connect to my ace over here is also dictating how I'm going to play my ace, which is like potentially got showdown value. But this 7 over here, it's like, hey, I'm blocking shit that's gonna bluff. Let's get that back in the shot. So the 7 here is like, hey, dude, you gotta fold, even though you could potentially be good. And he's like, well, hey, I'm not even connected to you. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm an ace. You're a 7. You're a 7. I'm way up here. I'm an ace. You're a 7. We ain't even in the same suit, bro. We ain't in the same suit. Why are you talking to me? It's because we're connected, bro. We're still connected, even though there's no connectivity with the hand. We're all connected. It's just one big happy circle. We're all a family. It's all love. That ace 7 really talks deep. There's real philosophical implications of the hand. King 10 versus 9-10. We both got straight draws, and they just so happen to be open-ended. Gavs with the flush draw to boot in position. Probably likes his situation better. Great Dant might lead here, which is weird. Check calling makes sense. You could almost check fold facing some big ass bet. Is that true? There's a flush bet completed on the turn. You just face like a 4 blind bet. You fold your straight draw. Anyways, we get a very small bet. Great Dant needs a what? King or 8? That's a non-diamond. So the 8 of diamond doesn't work. And we face that tiny ass bet and we still fold. We just check fold the straight draw when the flush draw completes on the turn. Really cool. Ace 6. Whoa, I heard some banging upstairs. That doesn't make sense. Hopefully it was the cat. Uh-oh, I hear the cat out the door. That's not good. Ace 6 suited. Opens for the whale. That's not good. Somebody's banging upstairs. Nobody's home. The cat's scratching at the door. Got too many different sounds going on for not enough people in the house. Ace king for Gavs. Ace king for Gavs will 3-bet and take the pot down. Pretty always cool to see the sizing. They go 9 blinds. That they did. Oh boy. What's going on here? We got a queen and an 8 for Gavs. That'll eventually fold to him. Probably just going to see a limp pot. King 3 is kind of a shitty hand like King 2. It could think about a raise trying to buy the pot pre. Although you are just bloating the pot with some raggedy ass hand here. Here's a limp. Got a limp there by the Queen 8. King 3 just elects to check. We're going to go post 9-5-2 is the board. All spades. If somebody bets, they might just take the pot down right then and there. Poor cat. Sitting outside. Flop goes check, check. We got straight draw for Gavs here. That's kind of cool. About 1.3. That's a half pot size bet. And they take it down there. King Queen suited for Great Dant. Comes in for the open. Not too much going on here. 6-10 for Star wins. Doink, doink, doink. Star wins gets out of there. What's going on here? Not too much either. There's a bunch of shit holdings. Queen 4 suited, Malika. Probably going to open it up. Star wins. It'll be cool to see if they call the small 6-4 suited. I don't think so, though. Doink, doink, doink. No quick fold from the small 6 and a king in the big. If it was suited, that's a cool 3-betting hand. The whale might take some of those properties and overweight them in their noggin and come in for a 3-bet any which way. We could just call and see if, yeah, we could have just called and saw flop. We 3-bet, take it down pre. Moving on along. It's kind of cool to see, though, just a raggedy king go for a 3-bet, take it down pre-flop. King queen for Gavs. Opens it up. Well, remember, wasn't it like Malika who 3-bet queen 4-0 early in the turn, in the final table here? Just applied some pressure with some raggedy ass queen. Sometimes you do it, and it works out. King queen Gavs raises, takes it down pre. Ace and a king for Malika. We open it up. Ace 7 suited for the whale is kind of a weird thing to do. Or a weird situation, Shimmer Digger. What do? You call. It's like, got that big stack opening. Ace 7 suited, kind of a shitty hand. You flop a pair of 7s, and now it's the best hand. It's the best of the 3. It's the best hand. Queen 6 for Gavs has a straight draw to the 4. Like, I'm thinking, you kind of want to stick it into a 3-bet bluffing range. Like, if you flop top pair, you're going to be putting a real pickle often. Man, just a difficult situation. You could try to, like, clean up you can sort of, like, pave some of the paths to, like, clearer roads if you go for a 3-bet pre instead of calling. Instead of going into the thick, wild bush. Anyways, ace 7 flops top pair, bets half pot. Ace king probably going to come along to the turn here with 2 overs and a backdoor nut flush draw. We both got a straight draw to the 4 and the 2 as well. Check raise would be funny. Ace king actually just checks folds facing the half pot bet. Another one of those situations where everybody asks themselves, like, hey, Malika, can you just see what your opponent has? You just know he had a 7 somehow, and that one of his cards matched your card, so you have less outs. Great down with 9s, 17 blinds effective. Should just come in for the min raise, but we saw earlier with the ace king, they jammed about 20 blinds. They do come in for the small raise here. King 9 for Gavs might fold. Oof. That neck isn't feeling good. Ooh. 7-5. Just folds too. Blinds go up. Great down to shorty at 15. The other players all collectively or individually under 55. Why did I use the word collectively? I don't know. Was not needed. Gavs 10-10 will open it up. Star wins. Just a calling situation with the king jack and the big blind. Ace 6 could come in for some raggedy, weird 3-bet. Probably not, though. Not likely. I think king jack just wants to call here and suit through cards. We could 3-bet. I don't think we need to. Star wins is thinking, though. No, they do just call. We got a very interesting queen jack 5 board, all diamonds, Gavs with the backdoor straight draw. Obviously the flush draw to boot. 3 of a kind draw. Star wins with the best of it with the king and jack, though. Scared as shit with 3 diamonds out there. Man, I hope it's the cat upstairs. 8 on the turn. Straight draw, that's for true. Straight draw, flush draw, 3 of a kind. It's all there for Gavs. 10, 9, or a diamond. Da-do-do-do. 10, 9, diamond. 5.5 in the middle. I don't know if Gav wants to bet. No, they don't. Ace on the river. This might go check, check. Star wins a 3rd pair. Great kicker. If they go for value here, that'd be crazy, dude. 1.5. They find a value bet on the river here. Uber small, and it might get looked up. Super uber greed. Nothing like when the greed gets paid off though. Like if Gav's flicking the call, you just feel like a wizard. And the dealer slides you 1.5 blinds from your opponent. And you just throw on your wizard hat. You grow a beard. A staff appears in your hand. Oh, and your opponent folded. Even sometimes when your opponent folds, you're like, you know what, fuck it, I deserve all that wizardry shit still. I found the value bet. Gavs with the 10-7 suited. Comes in for the open. Ace-6 for star wins. Oh, just folding the small. I guess it's a shitty old ace. No reason to hang in there. A6 for Gavs. Excuse me. A6 for Gavs. So right back in there. Great dent with the king and the 9 in the big blind. Man, I need some food. King 9 in the big blind. We just call. Let's hurry up. I want food. 8-8-3 board. 1 club for Gavs. Bets 1 blind. I love the 1 blind size. Super uber disconnected board. 8-8-3. No flush draw out there at all. There's a world where Great Dant just goes for a lot of check raises to like 3 blinds. Super small. Because your opponent's kind of like, what the fuck do I do facing that? Anyways, we don't see that. Great Dant folds the king high. Moving on, long star wins with the king 5 of the same suit. They're going to open it on up. Yes, they are. 9-2 for Gavs in the big. It is suited. We could come along. Oh, poor cat's back at the door. Gavs just folds. Jack 6 suited. PokerStars really slowed down the action after a couple curveballs earlier. Jack 6 suited. We just gotta walk here. That we do. Ooh, 7's ace jack. 12 blinds. I think we can rip here. Or like 6 blinds or whatever size you want to go. No, we just go 12. Gav's like is in a weird spot where you just click call and hope nobody wakes up behind you. But if somebody does elect to rip it in, you have a pretty easy fold. Looking for aces, jacks, backdoor diamonds. None of that on the turn. Not the river, neither. Great Dant hangs in there back in the game with 26 blinds. Queen for Gavs. 8-6 for the whale in the big blind. How would you even say Sniff's name? Sniff Tiplaco? Sniffitaplamic. Like, I had no idea. Sniff the whale. Jack. Queen 10 for Malika. They come in for the open. This is an interesting spot for jacks where you can think about a 3-bet to like 7.5, maybe 8 blinds. 7.5 looks pretty clean to me. King 6 suited. Could think about a 4-bet. Jacks could just call pre, but the 7.5 blind 3-bet comes in. There's a world where before bet the king 6. Not likely though. Queen 10 also out of there. Sniffs 3-bet, gets respect, and takes the pot down. Ace king suited. And ace 10 suited for Great Dant, who's in a lot of trouble here. Sniff will open, of course. Great Dant might just call pre. You see 110 going to be folded in the big blind. Sniff goes 2.2. Don't rip it in here, Great Dant. Don't do it. No, they're getting this in here. 110 being folded in the big. I don't think we're folding to the 4-bet all in with half our chips in the middle. Let's run the numbers. Less than 30%. Hearts or 10, dude? 10! Nobody thought about it. Hey, you looking over there. You just watching this. You didn't think about no 10, so this time Great Dant died. What do you know? 5-5 sniff is going to come in for the open. 2.1 blinds is the size. Interesting how they changed their sizing up. Whatever. That doesn't matter too much. Queen 2 suited. Queen 2 suited. Gavs is thinking about a 3-bet. They somehow come in for it. 6.2 blinds is the size. And 5s. This is in a weird spot, but I think we call. Probably have to call the 5s here. Sniff the Whale says I'm going to fold. Makes the 3-bet look magical. It's one of those situations where Gavs, his wand appears. Or staff, whatever fictional series you're into. Queen 10 star wins. I think a limp looks cool. You can raise if you want, but no need to. Force the Whale to see a flop with the Queen 10 out of position. Oh, sniff goes big, 4 blinds. Typically you see like 3.5 or so, maybe even 3 blinds is the raise size. 4 is big. 4 is cool. Nothing wrong with the 4 blind sizing. Typically when you go bigger, it just means you're raising less, as we've seen from sniff. So when you want to raise less, you just make your sizers a little bit bigger than the typical size. So it's logically sound here from the Whale. 10, 6, 2 is the board. 1 heart. We got backdoor equity for the Whale. I think we got to go for a C-bet. We don't got to go big. We can go like 3 blinds. Even smaller, beautiful. Sniff logically sound in this instance. Beautiful play by Sniff. I've seen nothing but beautiful plays by Sniff. There's like a weird fold facing an under the gun open, but mostly it's been good shit. Another heart on the turn. I think we gotta go bombs away, size up a river jam, so like 9. It's 18, 32. We don't even have to go 9 blinds. We can go like 7.5. 29. 7.5 looks clean to me. Somewhere between 7.5 and 8.5 blinds. Size up that river jam. Pair of 10s is going to be in a weird spot. It might even fold facing the river jam. 11 is big. The thing is, so there's 2 ideas here that's conflicting when you go for the bigger sizing, which is there's a lot of draws, so you actually do want to get a lot of value because you can. However, it just makes your river bet a little bit less oomph. It's got a little bit less oomph behind it. However, on the turn, it's got more oomph. It gets to fold by the pair of 10s. So it's got like a couple different conflicting ideas about it. Doesn't mean it's a stupid idea. But typically what you might see happen is the big turn bet and more checks on the river. Because your river bet has less oomph. So to me, like, that big turn bet doesn't necessarily always indicate that I should be folding more. It just means that they're going to be bombing the river less. Anyways, ace jack comes in for a 3-bet, takes it down pre. Ace 7 for the Whale. Excuse me. Ace 7? Talk for like 3 hours and you lose your voice, I guess. The Whale opens it up. Ace jack. Now look in the big. There's that 7 there for the Whale. Queen 9, 7 is the board. Now look, it's got backdoor. A sliver of backdoor equity. A few backdoor straight draws in there. A jack gets the job done. We almost don't connect enough to continue, but the bet's small enough where we probably do reluctantly call. We're like, fuck it, I don't want to, but I will. There's a magical old jack for Malico on the turn, giving him the best hand. 9 blinds in the middle. The Whale needs specifically a 7 now. Hopefully no ace, or that would be horrific. 9 on the river pairs the board. Flush draw misses. A few straights got there on the turn, but no more got there beyond that. Queen or ace jack, and think about a value bet on the river. Says we'll just check this one over, and our opponent checks down the 7. We scoop the 9 blind pot. Moving on along. The whale's in first place, yo. Where was I? Where was I? Ace 2 suited. The whale's getting after it. That's coming for an open. What the fuck? What did I miss? Whale's in first place. Holy shit. Jack 7 suited for Gavs. Jack 7 suited. Not gonna play this one. Star wins. 8-7 in the big. Eight, 7 in the big. Holy shit. Hurry up, dude. We're just calling and seeing 3 cards. Ace King 8 is the board. Sorry, I'm impatient sometimes. Ace King 8 is the board. We both got a pair. The whale with the backdoor flush draw. Ba-boop, boop, 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 boop. Top pair. Eventually goes for a value bet, about a third. That's smaller than a third. No, I think that's about a third. 8-7. We eventually call with a backdoor flush draw, bottom pair. Hopefully we make a better hand on the turn. 10 of spades. Does give our opponent some more cards that are good for him, as he picks up the flush draw to go along with his top pair. However, our 8-7 is no good. We don't care about our 8-7 no more. We're really willing to check fold after we tank and tank and tank, making the commentator continue to say words that hold no weight at all. I wonder what else I could talk about when there's just so much dead time. Another 10 on the river. Does Starwind ever go for a bluff here? Starwind's go for a bluff. What if I just pulled up some poetry or some shit? Started doing some analysis of poetry. Well, that wouldn't be a final table commentary about poker now, would it? Guess I can't just randomly... Oh my god! A 10 blind bet! Starwinds goes for the overbet. Talk about the poker dude. Starwinds goes for the overbet with the bottom pair, takes it on down, gets top pair to fold. That's one hell of a happening. Woo-wee wah. Starwinds. Queen 7. We are seeing a fun game here, even though this has taken over 3 hours of your time. Sniff the whale with the jack and an 8 in the big. Jack 8. Jack 8. Jack 8. We just checked, dude. Just check. Hurry up and check. 10-7-2. This is kind of cool. Queen 7 with the pair. We kind of just want to check this one. Jack 8, however, with a club. We really like putting in some plays here, I do believe. Got that flush draw, the straight draw. Like, if we can get an ace high, king high, queen high to think about a fold on the flop. If not, prepare them to fold on the turn on with the river. That's not too bad with jack high. Got a straight draw, getting called by the pair, and the board pairs on the turn as another 10 comes in. Doopity-doo. 4.5 blinds in the middle. The straight draw, flush draw might check back the turn. I think we can also go really big or something. A small bet half pot doesn't make as much sense. Yeah, we're going to just check it down to the river where we do get there. Even like a Little Caesars pizza right now, that'd be really good. I could go for that. A little crazy bread action. Mom fucking made a recipe, or found a recipe for crazy bread. Fucking delicious. You make your own homemade sauce. Fuck, that's good shit. Put even more cheese in there if you want. Well, I guess there's no cheese in crazy bread. I guess there's a little bit of sprinkle on top, isn't there? Some butter with a little parm. Oh, imagine you make some cheesy bread sticks. Some parmesan on top, all garlicky, buttery. Dip it in. Dip it in. Dip it in. A little marinara. Stir it around. Take a big bite. It's all cheesy in your mouth. That sounds pretty good. Ace Jack from Alika. Ace 8 for Cavs. Look at Gabs' image. That's some hilarious shit, dude. Look at that dude. I don't know what that is. That a human being? Oh, they're being serious. I feel bad now, but look at it. Look at Gabs' picture. What's fucking going on there? Is it a clown, dude? I ain't got no fucking clue. We got a 9-4-2 board. That's a flush draw for Malika with a couple overcards. Gabs' ace-8 is hanging in there. We got 5 blinds in the middle. 1.5 is the bet. I think we just call, right? A little bit of backdoor equity. Oof, ace-8 here is stupid. We might fold because it's so stupid. The bet's small enough where we might just flick and a call anyways. 2 on the turn. There's chop potentials with a 9 or a 4. My computer just glitched out a little. What's going on? Nothing's going on. 6 of clubs on the river. Gabs could go for a bluff into the best flush on a paired board. They just check down the ace-8. Boink, boink, boink. Boink, boink, boink. The best flush bets about 5 1/4 into that 8 blind pot. Ace-8 is thinking about a hero call with the flush blocker. A check raise is nasty shit that is not going to work out. Gabs is certainly thinking about it. What size do we go? Like 22 or something. Maybe a little less. 17, 19? 19 and a half looks cool. 20 and a half? No, we just call with the ace-8. So what size do we check raise? Ace-8 hero call sees the bad news. Ace-Queen for star wins. We'll open it up. We got an ace-5 suited in the big blind. Potentials for a little action here. I wonder if ace-queen just calls a 3-bet pre-flop. King-5 for Gabs. Probably folds. Like, I'm wondering about a taquito from 7-Eleven. That sounds pretty good too. King-5, 3 is the board. Ace-5 does make the best hand now. That's the backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw to boot. But Starwinds has that same backdoor straight draw. Anyways, flop goes check, check. 7 on the turn. 7 on the turn. There's 5 blinds in the middle. This is a pretty boring pot where we should just check, but we tank before we check. And there's a queen on the river. Nasty little queen. Starwinds makes the best hand. 5 blinds will slide their way. They're going to try to get a little bit more on top. Bet something like 4, 3.5 blinds, somewhere around there. You could even go a little bit bigger. Full pot looks greedy as shit, but looks like fun too. 4.5 looks nasty. 3.5 is the elected size. Ace-5 will probably just quickly call, move along. Is there a world where... No, Malik has been folding all game, dude. Ain't no way Malik is paying off this stupid little value bet. Ain't no fucking way, dude. Ain't no fucking way Malik is paying that off. 3.5 blinds? Yeah, no thank you. I already know. Thanks, bro. Nasty little river there. Malika says no fucking problem. King-9 opens it on up. Ace-7 for star wins in the big blind. Ain't no fucking way Malika's paying off your stupid value bet. There should be like a disrespectful, give me some of your chips because I know you're beating me and this is a disrespectful value bet sort of bet. Can you imagine if the game of poker added some sort of wager where like if your opponent goes for a value bet but like you can nail their hand, if you're like you got ace-queen and I'm gonna make a wager for 20 blinds, and then the other opponent doesn't even get an opportunity to do anything about that wager, and they just have to show the ace-queen that your opponent knew that they had, and then they have to give you 20 blinds instead of winning the pot with the ace-queen. What a stupid game this would be if we just started putting rules in there for no necessary reason. But it would be fucking cool to have a rule where it's like, guess your opponent's hand correctly rule. Like, if they can just nail your hand, you lose the pot. If they know exactly what you have, you lose. The too obvious punishment. I don't even know what you'd call it. You're too fucking obvious about what you're holding that you lose. King Jack. Oh, but then people would just start randomly, like, imagine you just get fucked by... I was trying to wonder, like, what's the flaws to this concept? There's plenty of them, I'm sure, but I don't want to think about it right now. I just want to think about the cons. Or the pros, not the cons. I just want to think about how fun it would be to add in some sort of, like, I know exactly what you're holding, so give me all your chips. Raise on the river. King Jack suited. Flop of the straight draw and the flush draw goes for a c-bet, takes the pot down for the whale. Moving on along with about 70 blinds, sitting pretty fucking comfy there. Coming in for an open with sixes. Star wins with 6-4 in the big blind. Yeah, should be like some sort of reward for being able to like read hands, you know? Because like it's not like you're not wagering anything. Like say I said like you've got ace queen on the river. I wager 20 blinds. Where your opponent doesn't really have any opportunity to do anything other than show their cards. And it's like if you've got king queen or something, or some other holding, other than the ace queen, the specified hand that they've elected the wager that you have. Well, then it's like you would win their wager if you didn't have the hand that they, so it's like it's not like you're really getting fucked in the ass just because your opponent thinks they can read your hand perfectly. But then I was thinking there might be a world where like everybody wagers a certain amount of blinds that you have aces or something like this, and they just like religiously do that regardless of the action and all that stuff. But then like in the end, that's not going to help them because they're always wagering chips that they know your specific hand. But then like what if you did like you wagered the minimum or something, and you just like instead of like, so like your opponent, let's just say the rule is your opponent value bets the river, and instead of calling, you don't even fold. You just say, I know what your fucking hand is, and I wager that. And if you win, you scoop the whole pot. That's the rule. Oh, I don't want to think about this anymore. Now that I'm getting too specific about it. It could just be so cool to be like call your opponent's hand, have the losing cards, and you still win everything, and on top of that, your wager. Excuse me. So, the whale made a straight here on the river. I'm going to get back to poker and quit pontificating on potential rule changes. King Jack with a pair of kings. There's a flush draw that missed. Any 5 makes a straight. The whale is all the way in the tank. Bets full pot. Star Wins is going to be curious about a call, although I'm not super familiar. Or I wasn't paying attention to what happened to lead up to this action. I would presume blind on blind. Could be a limp pot. Could be a single raise pot pre. Nice fold in the end there by Star Wins with the straight being made by the whale. Blinds go up and they are still sitting pretty with 60 blinds. Malika under 40 in second place. Gav's in last place with 28. There's ace-6 limp pot, blind on blind, jack 9. Sees the queen 4-4 board, ace high, still best. Still best for Gav's, 2.5 in the middle. Bunch of backdoor straight draws in there for Sniff. Gavs gets a free turn in position. He elected to do that. He checked it back. 2 on the turn. Doesn't change a damn thing. I think we just check. Ace high can bet 1 blind at any point. Flex not to do that. 7 on the river. River goes check, ace high. Daz takes the pot down. Queen jack for Sniff will come in for the open. Ace 10 for Malika in the big blind. Doink, 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 doink. 7-6-5's the board. Got a bunch of clubs here, dudes. Sniff does have a club. We can see bet almost get ace high to fold right here now. Very difficult for Malika to hang in there. You see that 1.1 blind bet, you're like, well, it's small as fuck, dude. But what are you doing on that board with ace 10, no club? Kind of a cool play by the whale. Queen 2 suited. We're right back in there, and I think we just take this one down. Pretty beautiful, beautiful situation brewing here for the whale here. Absolutely putting on a show. Yeah, like if we're being honest, right from the get-go to this point now, the whale has been beating the fuck out of these very strong opponents. Jack 9 suited. Gavs is after it. Ace 9 suited for star wins. Weird spot for them in the small blind, out of position. We cover opponent barely. 3-bet's fun, but we also call and go post. There's the 3-bet to 6 blinds. Small sizing. Gaps is so. Oh, we're gonna think about a call. 3.8 into like, what was it, 13 blinds or something? Almost 14 blinds? Ugh, is this a call? We just so happen to be dominated here. Cavs in the end does find the fold. Very interesting little happening there. That's one of the spots where you're like, hey, Starwinds, you know what Gavs got or what? How'd you find that small ass raise that makes him think about potentially coming along? He's like just on the cusp of calling. If you made it any smaller, he probably calls. Ace 7 Starwinds opens the button. Ace 10 for sniff in the small calls. Queen 4 Gavs is out of there. 9-5-2 is the board. Starwinds with a little bit of backdoor equity, as he often says. Ace 10 for sniff. Little bit of backdoor equity. Backdoor equity. Backdoor equity. Ace 10 leads out. What the fuck? I'm trying to think. I got no clue. What? We get called 8 on the turn? Why did we lead though? Like, are we specifically trying to get like ace jack, ace king, ace queen to fold? With a stupid small bet that would call it anyways? Like, what are we trying to achieve? There's plenty of draws. Are we trying to pick our sizing? We check over the turn. Like, if Starwinds checks... No, he bets 6.5. Did we just fold with 2 overs? Nothing going on? Did we hero calls ace 10? Huh? I don't mean to be so rude, but what the fuck? Huh? So typically you just see like ace 10 call. The call pre-flop makes sense. You just check the turn, or check the flop, sorry. You can think about a fold on the flop. You can also call just happily. So you call your small bet. Maybe the pricing and everything turned out to be the exact same. It was just like the steps to get there made no sense. Anyways, I should quickly go take a break, eat some food, and yeah, I should. We don't have too much longer. Alrighty, let's get this frickin' rockin' and rolling. Last 4 dudes. Starwinds with King 7 in the big facing all limp. Holy shit, this has been a long one. Thanks for hanging on out though. If you've enjoyed yourself, just fucking, I don't know, like the video, because, you know, that feels cool. You know, waking up in the morning, you see somebody like your video, you're just fucking like, no, somebody liked my video, somebody watched my video. You just feel all cool and shit. Hey, if you haven't subscribed, you know, it's kind of cool when you wake up in the morning, you see somebody subscribe to your channel. You're like, oh shit, you get a little giddy feeling in your belly. Oh, and one more thing. Excuse me. If you comment on the video, that's kind of cool too. If you're like, hey, Brendan, and then I'll be like, oh, hey, man. We'll just be like little buddies on the internet. Nah, fuck that noise. Fuck that noise. No, but actually, it feels good in your belly. You're just like, oh, a little human being way over there, somewhere else in the world. They said hello to you. Or they're like, oh, good video. Or something like that. Some of that cool shit. And then, like, other people see the video. And then what do you know, like, fucking YouTube's an interesting little thing. That whole algorithm bullshit they talk about is Starwinds calls facing the Jack High bluff on the river. I think that's what it was. Seriously, with that whole algorithm thing, man, they fucking, sometimes they're like, hey, I'm gonna show your video to absolutely everybody in the world. And then they'll go for a while and they'll say, yeah, I'm not gonna show your video to nobody but like 50 people. But like, hey, all I'm saying is, All I'm saying is I get a little giddy feeling in my belly when somebody hits the like button. Excuse me. I ate some food, by the way. It was fucking delicious. Jack 5 raises pre. Excuse me, I'm burping though. King 7 facing the big raise pre. Excuse me, I'm just gonna fold this time. No post flop play there. 7-5 suited. You know, YouTube is fucking weird, man. You know, like, I always thought, like, I watched a lot of fucking YouTube, so, but like, I always thought, like, something on the other side of the video is, like, some, like, I don't know, like, non-human entity. But then, like, being that human behind the video, I'm like, here I am, there I am right there. And, like if my mom's watching YouTube and she sees my stupid little face and my stupid little videos, we both go, like, hey, look at, there's me. And we're, like, just scrolling through YouTube. That's cool as shit. You see yourself there. But, like, that's a human being, and it's like, I know what that's like now. All I'm saying is, it's like, you fucking try it, but, like, with that being said, like, it's not fucking easy to, like, build up this, like, perception in your head that, like, allows you to present these ideas that are in your head as well. So, like, when you talk about, like, poker and shit like this, it gets really complicated because you're, like, holding on to all these concepts and you're like, well, do I need to explain them? And you're like, yes, I do. And how much? And what level of knowledge of person am I speaking to? It's very complex. You're like doing this, like, multi-dimensional balancing act. And it's like all, like, and it's like, it's all, like, presented to you in your head. It's an internal battle when you first start, like, just, like, talking this shit out. You're, like, just sitting here, like, describing it, like, talking to a camera is a very weird thing. But, like, so, like, when you want to start out doing this sort of shit, you, like, go through this internal dialogue where you're like, well, I'm doing this really fucking weird thing. How do I even start? But then, like, after a while, you just do it. You just fucking do it. It comes natural. And then you just want everybody else to do it for some reason. There's some sort of weird thing where you're, like, talking by yourself out loud, exploring ideas that allow us for deeper connections internally on the individual level, which is cool. Ace Jack. I'm gonna raise the 3 blinds, cats. We'll rip and take it in. We'll get this in. We're gonna flip. We'll flip here, the whale. Is Gav's gonna die? Did we just call? There's the jam with the pocket pair. Quick call by the ace jack. We're flipping here. A jack on the flop. Bad news. We need a 5. A 4 and a 10 is not a 5. Therefore, we do lose. Gav's in 4th place. They get about 24 grand for their efforts. We're down to 3 players. The whale's got this huge stack. Who saw the whale winning this one? I didn't, and it's not even over yet. They're just in 1st place for the time being. 10-4 will fold. The whale gets a walk. Oh, we walk. Queen 3 suited. There's a bunch of shit holdings of late. Queen 3 suited still kind of feels like an open being a suited queen. We might fold. We're starting to get to huge pay jumps. There's like a 14k ladder between 3rd and 2nd. A heads-up battle for $23,000 just about. Shit, dude. Shit. A lot of numbers here now. Numbers get bigger and bigger. 10-7 limps it in. King 5 checks it back. Jack 9-4 is the board. Straight draw to the 8 for the whale. I'll go with a king and a 5. We don't have a great reason to hang in there. We got the king high, which could be best. A backdoor straight draw. I don't think a raise necessarily makes a lot of sense. Kind of just land on the fold option, get out of there. Jack 8 suited. Gonna open that shit from the button. Do. Ace 2. Oh, we just fold the button. What do you know? Ace 2 is almost like King 2, except for the fact that it has a little bit of connectivity. Not necessarily a strong hand. Very easy to lose a lot of money. Malika says I'm just out of there avoid the whole shit situation. 10-9 limps it in. Doopity doo. 6-4, raising to 4 blinds. Starwinds might call. Not really a 3-betting hand, but kind of a situation where we're going to see some wider 3-bets now. Now that our opponent has consistently used the 4 blind size at a very high frequency. 10-9, we'll just let this one go. Starwind says, I'm going to move along. Ace-9. A raise to 3 blinds is cool. Quick jam for about 30 blinds. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Completely unnecessary. However, we're moving along after the jam gets through. Ace-10. There is a world where we can just start to rip it in pre. I don't think it's anywhere near where we are now. We got to be playing like 20 blinds deep or so. 25 blinds is somewhere around the range. Some players start to go at about like 29, 28 blinds. They just start to rip it in pre. 36, 37 does not seem to be that same number though. King-2 for Malika. We'll just take it down pre. Ace-King. Don't you dare just rip it in here. That Ace-9 jam is so bizarre. There's the 3 blind raise. Makes a lot of sense. 7-5 for Malika. They're going to be tempted to see a flop here. They do just move along though. That's a big stack. 95 blinds for the whale. Jack-6 suited for Malika. Like, it doesn't look like somebody's going to make a comeback, even though Malika and Starwinds are very, very capable. I'm like, okay, so Starwinds gets a double up through the whale. The whale would have, what, 35 less blinds? 60 blinds. Starwinds would be at 70. One double up with Starwinds through the whale, and Starwinds is in first place. Malika's not too far behind that either. Jack-6 sees a board here. What the heck? King-7-2. Where's the button? So the button fold limp pot. I was like, how did we get these 2 shit holdings in here? 3-4 bets, 1 blind in position with backdoor equity. Jack-6 with backdoor equity calls. 4 on the turn. Nothing for Malika styles other than 2 cards that are live. Jacks and 6s. Little pair of 4s looks good for the time being, however. Another 3, so that's another pair. Malika blocks a straight 6-5. Diamonds got there, which is more relevant. Two pairs. Looks like a value bet, even though there's a few straights out there in the flush. Did complete on the river. About half pot. Jack-6 does not have a reason to hang in there. Doesn't have a reason to go for the check raise bluff. We just move along. King-6 suited opens. Ace-Jack for Starwinds, and then 7s for the whale in the big. Weird, weird, weird. Ace-Jack thinking about a 3-bet here. Makes it 6 blinds to go. I'm not too sure what the whale does. They just quickly fold the 7s. King-6 suited as well. Hits the muck. Interesting happening there. Could have been some more fireworks. Ace-7 will open the button. King-King will 3-bet to like 8-9 blinds. I like 8 blinds. We'll see what these players elect to do. Oh, fuck! Lots of talking and stuff. King-King. Let's go for the 3-bet. 7.5 looks cool to me. 10-3, easy fold. Ace-7 probably just hits the muck as well. Not really gonna 4-bet here. Although the situation almost is calling for it. A small 4-bet looks fun. Oh, it's too risky, I think. Yeah, I just gotta fold in the end. Chips are a little bit too important. You can't really make it 15 blinds. Leave yourself with like 25 behind or something like this. That's too gross. Just fold pre, move along, look for something better. King-5 opens. 9-7 suited. 9-7 suited in the big. We're gonna call. I don't know why this is taking so long. Queen 10-10 is the board. One club out there for star wins. Both players with backdoor straight draws. 5 blinds in the middle. This could just go check, bet, fold, and we're moving on along. Holy shit, let's go, boys. There should be some sort of incentivization to play quicker. I wonder what you could do. Why am I trying to think about fucking up with the rules of poker so much? I don't know. For my own viewing benefit. Trying to think about rules to implicate across the board. Queen 2 will get a walk. Ace 9 suited. Ace 4 for sniff. I'll look in the big with the ace jack suited. I think we just get the open from the button. Fold. Jam for Malika. They take it down pre. There's a room where sniff the whale 3 bets. Like there's a world where we fold to the 3 bet with the ace jack suited. I think we still just jam it in here though. The reason is why you might fold with the ace jack is if star wins loses to sniff, you could potentially make like 14 grand. Malika very reasonably, not afraid of nothing, rips it in for 21 and should just take it down pre. They scoop a nice pot, almost evening themselves up with star wins there. Ace 7 suited for sniff. Opens it up. Malika, queen 10 in the small. That is suited. We got a call. 3 bet's fun. Three bet jam for 31 is not what I was expecting. We'll take it down pre anyways. Queen 4 gonna fold. Ace 7 limps it in. King 5. We got options. We can check it back. We can raise. We can't do anything else. Got 2 options. Our options are narrowed down to checking and raising. We've been using the 4 blind size. King 5 doesn't need to raise here at all. It checks it back. Sees the 5-3-3 board. That's a pair of 5s for the whale here in position. Ace 7. There's plenty of reasons to see a turn card. Small pot. Be pretty hard to price out the ace 7 in this instance. Doopity-doo. Ace 7 back to a straight draws 2 overs. Sees a 1 blind bet. We're off to the turn, folks. We're gonna be off to the turn. I'm wondering, does star wins ever think about some sort of like play where we pretend we have aces? We limped it in, we check raise the flop, go from there. No, we're just gonna play very reasonably. Look to somehow get the showdown with the ace high. Or improve. However, we get a little 5 on the turn. The whale makes a full house. Full house for the whale. Boink, 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 boink. They bet about, what is that, 3/4? Something around there. H7. We still call here. We're off to the river, folks. 4 diamonds. Interesting card because some has like 4-6 improved. Like 4-7 or some shit. 4x obviously. Diamonds got there. A few straights got there. 6-7. You block some stuff with the 7. You don't hold a diamond in your hand, so there could be some raggedy ass diamond X holdings in your opponent's bluffing range that you don't block at all. I don't know what we want to do here with the ace. It's almost a hero calling hand. That 7 was a diamond. I think it would be a snap call. Star wins is right. Finds the fold. Not an easy fold there just with the ace high. We had a lot of shit got there. So maybe it's not as hard as I'm making it out to be, but we are going to move on along. 5-2 raises to 3.5 blinds. And I got to say, the whale is actually playing a damn good game with the big stack. They went quiet for a little bit after the hot start. Kind of tightened up until we got into the money, and then they really, they eventually found themselves in first place, and I was like, how the fuck did you get here, bud? And then he's just put his foot on the gas ever since. He says, I don't know how I got here either, but I'm not going to blow this opportunity. King 7 opens the button. King Jack suited going to 3-bet the small. I don't know what size. All in is Malika's elected price. We take it down pre. Moving on along. Malika has put a little bit of a, what would you say, distance between himself and Starwinds. King 4. Thinking about an open from the button. Again, it's not super necessary here, where Malika doesn't need to, like, fight for first place in this instance. They kind of need to fight for a heads-up battle, and they hope to pick up chips along that way. 6-6 for the whale here. Limpot, King 7 says, hey buddy, let's go to the flop. Whale says for 3.3 blinds, 2.3 to call into a pot of what would be 7. Do-ba-dee-doo, do-ba-dee-doo. Wasn't expecting that. I don't think it's going to work. I think Whale just rips it in over the 3-bet. 4-bet all in. They do just take it down pre-avoiding all runouts and shit. Cool kind of play there by Starwinds. It did not work out at all. But I do like the play. And it was kind of like the Whale has been going for a lot of those raises pre. So it's about time Starwind steps his foot on the pedal. Puts in a little raise himself. Goes for the 3-bet bluff. It was just poor timing. There's nothing you can do about that. 6-3 suited in the big. Probably going to see a flop here. 10-9 for the Whale opens up. 10-9 for the Whale did open up the pot. Ace-6-3 is the board. You know what? Probably just going to see a C-bet by the Whale, check raise, and a fold by the 10-9 suited. I think bottom 2 pairs are a little bit too vulnerable, just a call. Although the board's pretty fucking dry. The board is pretty fucking dry. Very small bet. I don't hate a call here by the 2 pairs. But you do see a lot of check raisings. You don't even have to go big. You can go like 3.9 or something stupid. We do just get a call 10 on the turn. That will slow action down a little bit as the Whale does pick up some equity, but no real reason to brew the pot any bigger than it needs to be. Still losing to any ace. Obviously 2 pairs. Somehow a better 10. Not likely, but... And there's a world where we can bet like 1/3, try to get called by 6s, 3 straight draws, and then check down the river. We do elect to go for that bet on the turn. It's half pot, and then our opponent rips. We're in a weird spot. Excuse me. How do we just bet smaller? We have, I think, an easier fold with the pair 10s. It's 11 into 37. Are we priced into a call now? Fucking close. I'm not doing the math though. Ace 10 or 9 if we do call. 18% of the time. Pretty big pot here. You don't expect to be looking too good with the pair 10s. So you should probably fold. But then the thing is, you're doing math. You're just like calculate, calculate, calculate. I don't think I'm ever good here. There's like 3, no, there's 4, 5. That's open-ended. Yeah, there's almost no reason to call even if you're priced in. Blinds go up. 2 pairs do play the hand beautifully after the, how would you say, a little too greedy of a value bet on the turn. And I don't even hate the turn bet. It could just be a little bit smaller and works out just as well, and you save yourself some chips. Although when you do go a little bit smaller, you might open yourself to be getting bluffed more. Potentially. I don't think so, though. 8-7 suited Starwinds. Opening the button. 3-5 suited for the other shorty. Whoa. I don't know if that's tight or right. I don't know. Seems pretty tight. Starwind is a pretty damn good player. Pretty fucking damn good player. There's no reason to doubt their thought process there. It's just it's hard to see it and think that it's also right. Just the two ideas. You're like, oh, how do I fit this together? And they eventually make peace and love. 6-4 for Malika, 6-7 for Starwinds, limp pot. I'm trying to think, like, 21 blinds deep? Do we need to fold 8-7 suited on the button? three-handed. We're in last place. Some of these concepts that I'm holding are like, it's really hard to conceive a world where the fold is necessary as we get some cat hair floating down from the heaven above. 6-7 as a straight draw, pair of fours for Malika. 7 or a 5 for star wins. There's that 7 they were looking for. 5 is the chop pot now. That it is. But boo, holy fuck, sometimes this takes too long. 1.2 blinds and a 2.4, which equates to half pot. 6-4 is a crazy check raising hand, completely unnecessary. River might just go check. I think a 7 could go for more value. It's a weird the sizing though. You almost want to go big, but that prices out some 4s and stuff unless they get really curious. So you go like 3.5. Starwin says go super small, and I kind of like you're more likely to get called here, of course. I'm wondering if you can get more. Starwin says don't get too greedy, just go for the small bet, get called for sure. How about that one? Move on along. 10-8, the whale. Probably gonna raise, face a call by the Malika's Jack 10 suited, maybe. We're gonna find out. Oh, excuse me. Holy fuck. Oh. Jack 10 suited. We just call. Jack 8 4 board. Hopefully there's no 10s out there, dude. No 10s dealer. I kind of want to see how the whale plays heads up. And it's even more fun to see when they have the chip advantage. So you can see what they do when they're getting aggressive versus when they're forced to being into some sort of passive play. Pair of jacks, top pair goes for the 3 blind bet. Second pair probably just calls. We're willing to give this one up though. Not on the flop, but on the turn for sure. 5 of diamonds. 6-6-7 gets there. I wonder if an 8 can just say, fuck it, I'm done on the turn here. Big bet pre, check it over, call, check fold. Seems weak and shit, but I think you're gonna fuck here a lot. 21.5 behind. Malika might check with the flush draw in their hand. No, he goes for about a half pot size bet. I think that 8 just has to fold. I could be wrong. We'll see what the whale elects to do. Nice fold by the whale. Clap, clap. Very good job. Jack 5 for the whale here. Queen, queen for Malika. Pretty boring shit. We're just going to get an open, a 3-bet non-all in. We'll see the size, something like 7.5. Some players go really big, and they're strong players, really big off these like shorter stacks. Like 34 blinds, you would think like 7.5 is a very reasonable size. Some players just make it like 9, and it confuses the fuck out of me. Jack 7 suited. 23 blinds deep. We gotta limp this one in. Call a raise if it comes in. Although the whale's going like a 4 blind size, which is annoying as fuck. King 6-5 is the board. King 9. Top pair, limp pot. Not too much going on. 3 in a row and a backdoor flush draw for star wins is something though. 1 blind bet. We could go for a check raise, not necessary. We could just call as well. We can fold too. We got all 3 options. Hey, great commentary. He didn't add a fucking lick of sense to the situation. There's the raise though. That's cool to see with the backdoor equity. It's all a matter of like, it's like player dependent based on the individual and their opponent. It's like if a star wins is an aggressive player and he's playing an opponent who's going to be raising too much, which we've seen a lot of aggression between these two. So it's not out of the question to see more raises come in. And there's real passive players where they may just fold or elect to call on the flop or some shit with the backdoor equity. Spade on the turn, which is cool as shit. Starwinds fires away 5.5 into 8.4, sizing up a river jam. 13.5 behind, what into a pot will be like 19, I think it is. 19.5. 6 on the river. Starwinds could check fold. There's plenty of missed straight draws. I actually like a check fold with the jack high. I don't know if a bluff's gonna work. Nice job by Starwinds. I don't think it's gonna work here. You ever just be in a hand, you show up on the river, and you're like, I don't think I can win here if I check. I don't think I can bluff and win. I can't do nothing but lose. That was where Starwinds found himself. Although, beautifully played hand. The whale didn't even go for river value with the top pair. Making sure he didn't get fucked over. It is pretty imperative that the whale keeps this huge chip advantage going into the heads-up battle. So it's like what you want to do is like slowly pick away rather than... Oh, jack 6 versus ace 6. We're looking for a jack. Ace on the turn locks at the board. So like, yeah, it's like important that sniff keeps this big advantage. You want to slowly pick away at your opponents. You don't want to overvalue marginal hands in this situation. It's really important you don't what would you say? You don't lean into much of the value of marginal hands. Don't go for thin value in these instances. But it does make a lot of sense to do a lot of these like small jabs, like such as what Whale's been doing. Because like if Starwinds goes for a 3-bet here, you do not have to play back with this 8-7. All you did was raise to 3 blinds. You face the 3-bet, easy fold, move along. You wasted 3 blinds to play a very aggressive strategy. Good job. Whale's getting after it. Ace 8. That's an open. Queen 3 suited might just fold, and this will get through pre. Da-do, 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 buddy-do, da-do, do-do-do-do. Malik with a 7 and a deuce. Ba-boop, 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 boop. 5-3, no, that's out of there. Queen 4 for Malika. Limp pot, 9-4 for Starwinds. Just check, let's go to the flop here, dudes. Holy fuck! Jack 7-4 is the board. Hopefully no more 4s come. Do-do-ba-dee-doo. Check, 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 check. There's no real reason for some sort of like pair of 4s to go for protection against like a flush draw. Or sorry, a straight draw. Like you don't need to build a pot here. Just check, dude. Just go to the turn. 7 on the turn, pairs the board. Got some chop potentials out there. Do-ba-dee-doo, do-do-ba-dee-doo. Holy shit, does this take forever though? Jack. Queen 4. Almost can't even value bet. It's like a check call hand. 9-4 checks. This just goes check, check. Queen 4 scoops the pot. No! 1 blind bet. The fucking exhilaration fills my body. Holy shit, that took way too long for a 3.5 blind pot. Should almost be a punishment for those small pots. No, there shouldn't. Jack 2. Gonna limp it in. 2-4. The game of poker is beautiful, just as is. No reason to fuck it up. 2-4. Raises and takes it down pre. I love to see it. Nice play by the whale. Ace, queen. We can raise 3 blinds, get called here by the queen 8. Oh, my neck is stiff and sore. 3 blinds. Let's go see 3 cards now, dealer. Yes, sir. Again, this is taking too long. Nothing we can really do about that, though. Not gonna work. Not today. 7.5 blinds in position. I love the play. It's cool to see. Queen 8. Oh, it's one of those hands where you're like, I don't know, you put like Queen 10 in a weird spot, like some sort of Queen X that is better than you. But like I'm thinking like Queen Jack. Yeah, like what do you even do with Queen Jack facing that little raise there? You're just giving your opponent question marks, hopefully giving him a rough time. In this instance, he has Ace Queen, rips it over your is that a 3-bet? Then they take it down. Pre-flop, 5-4, limps it in. King 7 suited. King and a 7 of the same suit. We'll check it on. Back we had a 10-7 5 flop. Don't think we're going to get too much action here. We could go for a little bet ski with the King 7. A little 1 blind bet. Don't look too bad. Not mandatory. Still get called by plenty of draws. Or 7x, 5x. I love it. Malika with some backdoor straight draws. Pair. We're off to the turn, dealer. 8 on the turn. There's a straight draw to the 6. I think this one goes check, check. We're off to the river. There's like a world where Starwinds bets 1.5. I don't even know if that's needed though. 6 on the river, so the straight does get there for Malika. Very small pot. Not likely to get many more pennies in here. 1-liner to a 9 or 4. There's a world where like Malika bets and Starwinds bluffs, but that's not likely. We just get a small bet, less than 3 blinds. Like we could pay it off. Some sort of what? Like kind of like what I think Malik had one of those situations earlier with the 2 pairs or whatever it was, and there's a 1-liner to a queen, and it's just like there's nothing you beat here. Why would you even pay it off, regardless of the size? Pair 7 says I have an easy fold. 4-4-2 board here, or 4-2-2 board. My apologies. Ace 9 goes for a small C bet, a quarter pot size. King 3 with backdoor equity calls, picks up a straight draw to the ace or 6. The whale isn't afraid of a good lead. It is kind of a cool card to take over the betting lead. I'm not too familiar with donk ranges. And even concepts, generally speaking. Like, it makes a lot of sense. Like, oh, that's a good card for the big blind. Take over the betting lead. I don't quite necessarily understand ranges around that concept, though. That King 3 makes a straight as top pair comes in for Malika. Probably going to get a bet and a call here. Probably not super big. 5.5 is big, but a quick call by Malika. They see the bad news. Almost 20 blinds, slide over to the whale. 9-7 suited will jam for 10 blinds, take it down pre. Do buddy do, take it down pre. Moving on along. Great game here by the whale so far. Just under 100 big blinds. But about 35 left to collect or so. 9-5 will fold eventually. $36,000 locked up is a big payday, that's for sure. 73 up top though. 8 and a queen. Does Malika rip? They do fold. King 10. We might limp. Whale raises. No. Limp check. If Starwind raises, we have an easy 3-bet. Get it in. Then Starwinds has to fold. So Starwinds has to limp it in here. And Whale can still just rip it in for 20-something blinds, which is annoying. And then you have to fold the King 10. There's 14,000 reasons why you do that. However, facing this small raise to 3.5 blinds, you can call. You can call. You can see 3 cards. It's really annoying though. Another important thing is you want to make it the heads up. And you want to have as many chips as you can. Top pair 10s here. 6s could go for a small C bet if they want to. They don't have to. Nothing's mandatory. 7.5 in the middle. 6-6. Very small bet here. Good shit. Good shit. Top pair. I like a call. The situation's so scary where you don't really want to... Oh, Starwind says, yeah, I'm just going to raise. And does this take it down right here and now? It sure does. It sure does. King 10 again for Starwinds. Very interesting little hand there. Lots to think about with the top pair check raise and such a interesting money situation where we're very close to the ladder. Our opponent has 10 blinds. We still want to play our hand. We don't want to be a pussy and just fold till we get heads up and just slowly bleed away chips so our opponent pretty well guarantees the victory. You don't want that. Ace Queen will just rip it in pre. Might take it down. Queen 7 couldn't call. It's suited. 10 blinds. For chips, I think it's a call. However, you might look for a better spot. There's the call with the Queen 7 suited. We need diamonds or some backdoor straight help. King on the turn is not that. No 7 on the river. Malik is out in third place. What a beautifully played game. On a throwback all the way back to that flush draw bluff against the Jack and the Jack earlier. So we made it heads up. 50 grand locked up for both players. King 10 goes for a c-bet. King 3 calls. Makes a pair of threes. There's still plenty of outs for the King 10. None of them come in, however. None of them. Not one. River goes check, check. 6.5 blind. Slide over to Starwinds to start off the heads up battle. 10-7 versus 10-3. Limp pot. East King 7 is the board. 1 blind bet by the pair of 7s. We got backdoor equity. We got a big stack. Check raises are possible. Not in this instance. 10-9, King 3. Single raise pot, 2 blinds. Jack 10-2 is the board. Backdoor straight, backdoor flush for Starwinds. Sees a very small bet here. We're doing something. We do check raise 4.5, putting the pair 10s in a weird spot. We got to call and see a turn card. 3 slows down Starwinds as he has a little bit of showdown value. Beats some draws. Ace on the river just goes check, check, and the pair of 10s take a fair pot, 13 blinds. Jack 7, limp it in. 5-6, no reason to raise, checks it back. 9-8-5 is interesting. We got open, is it double gutter? Open-ended? I don't know. Starwind's got a whole bunch of draw going on versus bottom pair. Whole bunch of draw. No heart on the turn, so there's only a 6. These are 7, 8 pairs the board. Counterfeits the pair of 5s. Jack high is best, dudes. 8 blinds in the middle, 23 behind. We're going to see a big bet by the pair of 5s. Starwinds folds the Jack. 9.5 into 8 3/4, dude. You just have to fold the Jack. There's nothing you can do about it. Chippity chop, moving on along. Sorry, that wasn't a chip chop. I don't know why I said those words. Poor timing to use that stupid sentence. Ace 9 flops open, ended in position. 7-3 as a pair of 7s with the backdoor flush draw. 5 of hearts on the turn. Is a cool card. There's a heart draw versus the straight. Heart draw versus the straight. Just going to be a bet and a call. No reason for Starwinds to raise the turn here. No way the straight checks it back. 4 blinds is big. 2 on the river. Whoa, do we get it all on this hand? We can go big again, like 10 blinds. We can go all in. I think we just go all in. And the 7 might fold. We do go pot, which is interesting. I was thinking like it's between 10 and all in. Leaning more to either one of those numbers rather than a number in between. Whatever, 12 blinds. That gets through 10-3. Picks up a flush draw on this little flop here. 10-3, like 16 blinds deep. Oh boy, has a stupid little flush. Any club chops the pot except for the 2 of clubs. And the whale has a straight, by the way. 1 blind is the bet. We're going to call on the turn here with the straight. You really hate this. You're just getting milked to the maximum. There's that club that... Oh, we chop it up. Chop, chop. Starwinds can bluff, though. No, they don't. I was like, we can go for a big bet. How do we chop it up if we bet and get them to fold? That ain't no chop. That's a win in my books. Sniff limping in the 6-5. 17 blinds deep. Sniff has 115, dudes. Woo, open ender. King 5, not love and life, but might have to continue in some manner. One blind bet by Sniff. Quick call by the king high, ace on the turn. Sniff might bet and take it down. They elect not to. I was thinking we can go for a big bet, like 3.5. Get so much shit to fold. Naughty or not today. 6-5 is going to check and lose. King 5 checks with showdown value. Would be weird to see some big overbet here by Sniff. Three blinds. Starwinds can bluff. Just folds the king high. What a shame. Blinds go up 13, left to collect. All in play by Starwinds. King 7 for Sniff. Almost a call for chips. Not quite like that Queen 7 earlier. Still finds it. Kings and 7s ends the game. 7 on the flop. Ace. Club. 4. Nada. That's the game. Sniff gets the job done. Wow. Holy shit. I don't know. Maybe somebody else is familiar with Sniff. I'm not too familiar. They ended up getting that whole thing done. They collected the 70 grand. They came in with 20 blinds. They're in third last place. They're not even sitting in the money. Holy shit, ladies and gentlemen. Like, that is a stacked fucking final table. Right from the get-go, they won this huge pot versus Malika, and then there's like another like 16 blind pot the next hand. Anyways, that's the end of the show. Holy shit, if you made it all the way through this marathon, thanks for checking this bullshit out. If you got any comments or suggestions on improving the show, fire them down in the comments below. And thank you again. Adios, amigos.